What is up and what is going on, fellow Pantheon members? We appreciate all of you guys being here this evening. Obviously, there is quite a few things to discuss from the news this past week. A lot of big news. We got a Superman trailer finally promised from James Gunn. Well, everybody will give their thoughts on that and what we think about that. I don't think we'll watch it because it might get copyrighted, right? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, we'll watch that. We will also discuss big Marvel news. Nate Moore being leaving or fired or whatever the fuck it is. Then we're going to talk about BP3 being greenlit. We'll have a few other things on the docket that we'll talk about as well. But before we get into any of that, Chill, how have you been since the last time we spoke?
I've been pretty okay since the last time we spoke. I want to talk about you since the last time we spoke, because you seem to be at a studio right now.
Yes, I am in the haste of the Nate Moore news and BP3 being seemingly greenlit. That was news I did not want to miss out on, so I quickly pulled some things. My computer, this stuff behind me, it's going to take me a minute. I just got to let me kind of TLDR this. Because of my lease, however it was, I only had I could not move until this month. So that put me in a very precarious situation, finding a house during the holiday season, 1, a house during winter, 2, a house in Norman, where OU is. All the college students are still here. So it's very, very difficult. My landlord knows that, but she's being a bitch about it. It has been very difficult to find a house, very difficult. And I finally got approved for one today. Now everything that I have packed up and things like that, now I can start moving that stuff over. But because of that news yesterday, I pulled my desk back out. I was like, I was going to jump on this yesterday, but got approved for the house, or applied for that house yesterday, and just all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so the studio will look different here. Hopefully I don't move in until the 31st.
You gonna paint some cars behind you,
man? I know that's
thank you, man. Oh my god, because I'm telling you, bro, I was sitting here thinking 12 days left, nigga, and I still don't have a house. And I'm thinking we're going to be streaming from the street or hotel or something, because
Starbucks Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and the biggest thing was it was just like the pet restrictions. It's like everybody was like even the guy I called before I got approved for this house, a house I was looking at, he goes, "You have any pets?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got. I didn't say 2 dogs. I said I got a dog." I want to see what he said. He said, "Is it a pit?" I said, "No." he said he's okay, yeah, because my insurance won't let. I was like, "Yeah, bro, no, y'all better get off Capone. He's the sweetest fucking."
I don't know what that is, man, and it really is nothing but propaganda. Like,
yeah,
honestly, it's just not just me, like a dog person saying it. You're vicious type, you're dangerous to be around type breeds, German Shepherds, Ketas, Cane Corsos.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those are bigger dogs that maybe you might not want to have because, something could happen. A pit bull is a family dog. It is a playful dog. He wants to play with anything that's around. He want to rip and run.
Right.
He wants you to play tug of war. It is a lovable family dog. But like, people see the build. Obviously, people have bred him to fight and things of that nature, and you kind of get a
and I'm like, I've told every realtor, I'm like, bro, he is 10. He eats, sleeps, shits. That's it. He doesn't do anything. Like, he's 10. So yeah.
Hey Raymond,
anyway,
this hurt my feelings. So I just want to know. If y'all want me, I can go call Josh now if y'all want me to get him in here.
That's funny.
Josh's temporary status, okay?
Chill or not chill? Marcus, how have you been?
Yeah, how are you? Where were you since we last saw you, huh? What was happening 7 days ago? Craven?
Nah, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen Craven yet, unfortunately. I wasn't at home last week, so I had Josh fill in for me. But kicking, doing all right. Same old over here, man. I am excited about Sonic and Craven. I want to try and see one or both of those maybe around Christmas. See how that goes. But yeah, same old.
Good.
Dope.
Before we get into that Luigi stuff, I gotta give a shout out to the CEOs out here doing. Yo, Raymond, chill. Raymond, this is the Pantheon. There's Pantheon, and then there's Pantheon Unlimited. And we got the Phoenix Suns team owner. Okay, recently he was like, "Look, we're gonna make so all of our games are on broadcast television. Everyone can watch it." Now, $2 hot dogs, $2 soda, chips, popcorn. He's making it so that it's an affordable night out. That's worth it. The guy who owns Arizona iced tea, those tall cans of drink.
Mm-hmm.
He's keeping.
Oh, he know what's up. Yeah, 99 cents or $1.09, whatever they are now.
There's certain CEOs who we love for keeping the prices down. We love what the Ben and Jerry's guys we're doing, or still are doing when it comes to if you're convicted, even if you have a little record under it, we're good. We'll take care of you. We'll get you jobs. We'll integrate you back into society. We've got Mark Cuban, everybody on Shark Tank. They're all doing their thing. We respect them. We love them. We have so much love for people like who else is rich? Tyler Perry. Shout out to him. There's people. Marcus, we're giving
I
it
didn't
to
say nothing. I didn't say nothing.
Do you know Megan Good said that the most she's ever been paid was for that movie Divorce in Black?
Thank God. Thank God. Because for what she was forced to act through, they should have paid her that. Nonsense.
I'm running out of CEOs and billionaires, but we know the ones that we love. And one of them we don't love is the American Insurance CEO. Is it called United?
United Healthcare, yeah.
I don't even remember his name. But when that story popped up, I never wanted to talk about it because I don't think just because you're dead, you get to have all this news coverage. People die in New York every day. People get shot in New York every day. And just because you happen to be really, really rich and powerful, it doesn't mean that you're more newsworthy and coverage worthy over here on the Chillmonger YouTube channel. So I never talked about it. Luigi, I'll talk about him. That's all. That's my intro.
Yeah, man. So some very precarious circumstances around this this situation, I guess we'll call it. There's the obvious, right? There's the I guess you would call it a lack of empathy towards the death of the CEO, which I really get if you are a close family or friend of that individual that would make you feel that way, that you're crazy. that you'd be feeling that way. For anybody else, I don't get how you don't get how people are not losing a lot of sleep over this. Oh my God, someone was shot in the streets. Oh my God, who was it? The CEO of United Healthcare. Oh, well.
You mean a guy whose job leads to the death of many people because they would delay and deny? And what's the other D? The other?
You know what? Let me do this again. I'm gonna just change the profession of the individual that gets killed and see if people can understand. All right. Oh my God, somebody got shot in the street. Oh my God, who was it? The crack dealer down the street. Well. Oh my God, who got shot? The local loan shark. Oh, well. The guy who runs around stealing hubcaps off of everybody's cars. You kind of have to work up some sympathy for somebody who made a fortune, became a millionaire off of people dying. Right? So it's that part of it really kind of sent me. And then now that, obviously Luigi has been apprehended, they have a boatload of evidence to suggest that he was the one to commit the crime. But that's not enough for good old Southern District of New York there. Oh, no. That ain't enough. What we have to do is we have to make sure all of you normies understand that this won't stand. You will not touch an oligarch in our country. Oh, no. You won't do that. The rich, the powerful, the people who make the decisions here, you will not interfere with our workings. You will not rise up and do anything to disrupt the status quo. So what we're going to do is we're going to charge Luigi with terrorism. I'm sorry. Darius, you are a resident here. You're a U.S. citizen. Do you feel terrorized Do you feel like that was an act of terror meant to terrorize you, a normal citizen?
Not at all. I have been on the complete other side of the case on this, and like I said, no matter what side you're on, I think there are certain things that have to be looked at. But I of course, murder is murder. I'm not sitting here saying, glorifying murder or anything like that. But I am. It's a very fickle. Is it fickle? Is it fickle? I don't even know if it's really fickle. It's a because I'm not praising. Exactly. I'm not praising murder at all.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sit here, but they put something out the other day. CNN or somebody said that Luigi thought to himself, and a lot of people making jokes about it, whatever, thought to himself, he was going to bomb him, but then he thought about the safety of the people around him and things like that. I was like, that sounds like an Avenger to me. I mean, I don't know. The Avengers made the same decisions with Ultron and Sokovia. So I'm like, I don't know. So like, is he a villain? I don't think so at all. I think that, like you said, we have a healthcare system here in America that is failing people daily. Not just in a healthcare system, but we have an American system that is failing people daily. What they need to be looking at, instead of charging this man with terrorism, is they need to be looking at this possibly being a copycat thing. You've got people placed in situations in charge of American people that are making decisions based off people, or that are affecting people's health, livelihood, whatever else you want to check on that box. Luigi's not going to be the first. He's not the only Luigi we're going to see. There's going to be more Luigis that are going to pop up, because when you have this system that's fucking everyone. Boom, boom, pow, pow. You're going to get another CEO, healthcare worker. I just don't see this being. I see this being just a Pandora's box. Honestly, Luigi's getting so much attention, positive, from just all over the world, that
news.
Yes, it's except the news, that it's becoming a thing. Like, again, we watched it. We okay. Last thing I'm saying, we watched it in the Batman when the Riddler was doing everything he was doing. He got a cult-like following. People were wanting to imitate that because they looked at him as a hero. They looked at the things that was going on in Gotham as, that's fucking us. That's fucking blah 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 blah. So how do we change it? Let's take it into our own hands. You're gonna get more Luigis.
That's why the overcharging is very dangerous, and the individual doing it even more dangerous, because he has a track record of failing in doing so. The individual I'm speaking of is none other than Alvin Bragg. If that name sounds familiar, same prosecutor, same DA over the Adam False case, same over the Kevin Porter case, same presiding DA over the Jonathan Majors case, was responsible for overcharging, or sometimes even adding erroneous charges altogether in Adam False and Kevin Porter's case, right? Totally fabricating cases. Not just overcharging. So now they're trusting this man again with charging this guy with terrorism. Now, I happen to have thought that the way that what's up, Derpy? You must be a Buckeye. Hello. I happen to have thought the way that Luigi got apprehended was convenient, to say the least. That's what I'll say on that. In a way that it doesn't appear that there are any direct connections to any larger groups, any, anti-fascist organizations, any terrorist organizations. Seems like a lone wolf. It seems like somebody, or whoever, made him up to be a standard person that you would just dismiss as a unwell person, a crazy person, right? Nice and tight in a bow for the police to apprehend and prosecute. It was all very perfect. What I don't think is going to come out of this is that, he's a Mossad agent. He's Antifa. He's this. He's counterintelligence for another. No, you're not going to get that. So you're telling me this is a terrorist, not Dylan Roof, not the Vegas shooter.
Come on.
Not
Kyle Rittenhouse, who traveled over state lines. Come on.
Right? Not any of those people, but this guy who had a plan to take out one individual for his own cause is a terrorist. Okay, Alvin Bragg, you're ball in your court. Let's see if fourth time's a charge on the overcharging. Or excuse me, fourth time's a charm on the overcharging.
But see, I feel like they're calling him. Sorry, chill. Last thing I'm saying. I feel like they're calling him a terrorist because of the positive reaction that he's getting from the public. If we can
They
shut
want
that
you to
narrative down,
They
yeah,
want y'all to know. Yeah, they want y'all to know what it is.
exactly. Because when what's his name, the mayor of New York, got
Oh,
up
you talking
there.
about Eric Adams?
No. It wasn't the mayor of New York. The chief police. What's his name? The white dude with the glasses. He's not in this picture. I don't see him in this picture. But he stood up at the podium when they apprehended him and said, "We in America do not kill people out of cold blood." I said, "Well, we live in two different Americas because and it's so funny. They pick and choose these when they want to use those narratives. So I was like, okay,
What? We don't kill in cold blood. Hey, Derpy, you spelled national champions wrong. That's what you call us, national champions.
I was going to talk about the mayor a little bit more. You get to see who are these politicians who are just doing the bidding of their donors that really, really rich pay our politicians. So that's why you see Mayor Eric Adams walking him down there. And that's why I see Alvin Bragg getting in line.
Dog, didn't you just get out the brig yourself? Aren't you under investigation for corruption? I swear to God, he just got indicted. Who are you to be burp walking anybody?
Yeah.
Who are you?
The comparison pictures to him, the one I'm currently looking at of him surrounded, being walked by the police, and then next to it they have the set photos of Superman being walked. It is, it's obviously it's coincidence, I would say, but it's very looks exactly alike.
That's hilarious. That is funny. Derpy, you must be one of those hammer people. Keep waiting on the hammer, man. You keep waiting on it. It'll come. They're gonna take our national championship away and everything, dog. You just wait.
I think I found it. Is this it?
That's it. Oh, that's funny.
Oh my. It's funny.
That is funny. I am ready for that trial, though. I'll be seated and paying very close attention to that trial. I am very curious on the jurors, though. Are the jurors going to? Because one of the things
jury selection is going to be interesting in this because they're going to be hard pressed to find anybody that really is going to be like, oh man, like there's nobody on either side of the political spectrum, Republican, Democrat, that is on board with Prouse gouging seniors, fatalities to their children because they can't afford to get them the medicine that they need or the surgeries that they need. Nobody wants their life ended early because they can't afford to stay alive. Yeah. Everyone understands that, right? And so you're just going to be hard pressed to find a lot of people who are brokenhearted about it.
You just need 12.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's going to be just from
and they're bumping it up. It's not
everywhere.
Just murder. You could have went for murder 1. You have everything. You got premeditation. He wrote a manifesto. Like you got everything you need for murder 1. He can go away for the rest of his life. Yeah. You want terrorism because you need more than him just going away. And that is to
really discourage this action, this practice of going after the people who actually run stuff.
Yep.
And everyone, politicians can see.
But I don't think they're going to be able to do that, though.
We'll see.
And the reason I mean, when you've we'll see. We'll see. And like back to on the jurors thing, you got to find jurors. One, you got to find people that don't think he's attractive, both men and women. You've got to find people that aren't sympathetic to the whole healthcare system thing and him shoot because like most people think that like a lot of us are thinking, oh, he shot the healthcare worker. Okay, I'm telling you, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a big trial.
I think the answer to is it possible to get him a fair trial? There is no such thing as a fair trial here.
Well, sure.
They'll be biased.
I mean, but the public favor is kind of working in it. It's working on his side right now.
Except for on media, except for on the legacy media.
They're not going to be bringing in Chris Cuomo to be on the jury. You know what I mean? Like that is what
they still fuck with the Cuomo brothers in New York.
Just the dad.
Just the
dad. I was about to say because they sure don't fuck with them other ones. But
I'm just saying like that the ruling class is not going to be able to just control the narrative on this. Like as much as they will use their platforms to try and morally whip people back into shape and shame them for cheering on Luigi, the tenor is what it is, right? You can't bring back my dead family member. You can't erase my medical debt. You don't want to erase my medical debt. You're not even on my side on it when I want to get it forgiven. So why would I ever listen to you? Plus, those are failing companies anyways. Who gives a shit what CNN and MSNBC are saying? Who cares what a spinoff network has to say? You're not in control anymore. You are not driving the narrative. You're not even on the platform that drives the narrative. We're on the platform that drives the narrative.
And TikTok is getting deplatformed or canceled for a reason. They don't want you to be able to install that on your phone anymore.
Don't make me talk about why that's a good thing. Let's move on.
Oh, we're gonna fight if you did. We'll talk about what we do agree with. We'll talk
about what we do. Yeah, because
Alvin Bragg is a disaster. Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan District Attorney, is not representative of you. Same way Nate Moore is not representative of Marvel Studios. That's not a segue. If I'm going to segue, I'm going to segue to Jonathan Majors that we brought up. Alvin Bragg tried to do Jonathan Majors dirty. Why? Political points. You know, he got Donald Trump. He's the guy. He's that super Democrat. This will work. And now I'm going to have a political career after it. Idiot. Majors, if we're done with Luigi Mangione, I just want to say Majors got a Magazine Dreams release date finally. All we knew previously was that this movie was going to happen in the first quarter. Deadline got the exclusive news that he's got his Magazine Dreams in March 21.
That's
Read the article. It says, Deadline. Majors Magazine Dreams muscles into March through Briarcliff Entertainment. And I guess that's an old photo of him on the right with this actual bodybuilder. Look how accurate he looks.
That's not bad, man. That's one of those Christian Bale type transformations. That's pretty dope.
Solid.
I like that.
Exclusive. Briarcliff has set March 21 release for Magazine Dreams, the Elijah Bynum scripted and directed drama. In 2023, Sundance Film Festival was expected to put its star Jonathan Majors for Best Actor race and a major star trajectory. This movie over here of this bodybuilder who goes through a depression, it was one of those artsy fartsy movies where they were going to give him an award. Now it's available. You know, the budget wasn't too high. I've never heard of Briarcliff Entertainment, and I've never heard of Bynum over here. Elijah Bynum.
Mm-hmm.
This movie doesn't need much to break even, and it's already got that kind of like cinema kind of fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But that anti-Alvin Bragg, anti-Manhattan DA, anti-women who lie in court, anti-oppression of black people because they dated white women, like everyone who kind of was upset, watched what happened to Jonathan Majors, saw him running away. They all need to show up at that movie theater in March and support the film. This isn't going to a streaming service. We will actually have data. We'll have, after the first weekend, here on Thursday, Pantheon will be telling you and reporting you it made this many million in its first weekend, and that's why it's a success. It doesn't take that many. If we can get this movie to $100 million, it's over. It's over, but Jonathan Majors' career is completely unaffected. If this movie flops, then Stephanie did successfully cancel this dude. If this movie flops. So remember to share it. Remember to trailer react. Remember to give it all the publicity it deserves. Even if you're not going to see it, promote it.
I think how you prefaced it makes it kind of unfloppable. This isn't it's not a flick about, it's not a biopic about someone who's larger than life. So like a lot of people are going to come into with an expectation. Nor did it have a big budget. Nor is it part of the more normie film crowd. It's a very artsy, very niche crowd anyway. Like we're not going to be looking at financial. If it does financially well, that's a cherry on top. But that's not what they're going to be looking for to clear the bar, right? They're going to be looking at Major's performance. All of the aesthetic driven stuff of the film is going to be much more important, which I expect him to deliver on. But
who's
the part of
they're
it
going to be looking for? Who's they? You mean Warner Brothers?
Critics or people who are going to be looking to detract from the film, you know, that kind of crowd. That'll be what they're paying attention to. I don't think this is a film that you'll be able to laugh at. Oh, only made $100 million. Well, probably was like a $15 million budget, so that's probably pretty successful. But the thing that you were talking about in terms of promoting it, I would like to see more people, you know, talk positively about it. Like everything that has happened to Jonathan Majors since that trial ended has felt like people have put this air of fakeness on it. Like, oh, that's not really real. He's just doing this for the cameras. This is for show. This is not for show. Or it is, but it's his work. You know what I mean? Like, this is the one thing you kind of have to judge it for what it is. I'm glad we can finally get to it back to a spot where we can judge this man just for what he does, the merit of his work, and that's it. Not whether or not we believe his relationship is warrant or merit or is real. Not whether or not we think he's actually running into TMZ reporters on the side of the street or he's calling them. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just stop talking about all of that and watch the man do his work and get back to why we were talking about Jonathan Majors in the first place.
Agreed. With that, what's our next topic? Let's move into soups. I would like to save Nate and BP for last, just because they are such. I got some shit to say on that one, and those I think are going to be some topics. So, soups. This is something we have been waiting for quite some time. Despite the things that are said online by people, Snyder fans, or people that just want this film to fail. And as I say all the time, I am a fan of Josh over at Dinner Nerds and things like that. But I watched Josh's live this morning where he was talking about this trailer. And the thing that Josh cannot do is let down the veil, whatever this feud that, well, I say it's a feud between him and him, because I don't think James Gunn has said anything to Josh since that initial "you live in your mom's basement" tweet. So
2 years ago.
Yeah. So Josh is now,
Oh, can I give the backstory to that? Henry
Go ahead.
Cavill's firing was it was all up in the air. Nobody knew anything. Josh revealed it that Henry Cavill is gone. He's no longer Superman. And James Gunn said, "You don't know anything. You live in your mom's basement." Josh was right.
Right. Yeah, Josh was right. Just like Grace was right, but we won't get into that.
He went further than that. He actually went on to say that, well, I never hired Henry Cavill, so he could have never been fired. He lied about it and then tried to gaslight us into believing that he never lied.
Yep.
He had another one of those lies when he had the Middle Eastern story, the conflict.
The one with Grace. Yeah, where Grace called him out, and everybody got on Grace's ass and was like, "Oh, Grace is this," and Grace might be a lot of things. And I say Grace is a lot of things, but when she's right, she is right. And she was right.
Bassem Youssef, the Egyptian comedian, said how I was offered the job and it was all there after the writer's strike and the actor's strike. I didn't get the job anymore. And he goes, that's because also in that time period, I became a very vocal advocate for that place that's east of Egypt and west of Jordan. So he's like, oh, that made me no longer Warner Brothers friendly. David Zaslav friendly.
And I see why. But I'll let you guys talk about the trailer first.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say, despite all of that, Josh's thing this morning, I think that a lot of people that have this disdain for James Gunn, that have this, I think it's going to be this, or I think it's going to be that, and I've said I don't want it to be this, or I don't want it to be that. I think this teaser, although it did not wow me, I think it does I think it shows a lot of what James Gunn is going to do with this universe. I think that the Superman film does look like it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be decent. I think it looks like it's going to be hopeful. It does. There were certain moments in that trailer that I really felt like Superman, especially when he slides in front of the kid, when the kid with the pole is, calling for Superman. There are other moments that I felt like, oh, I don't know if I would have put that in the trailer. Certain, whatever. But I think that the overall public's perception of this has been pretty positive. And I think that is a rare W for DC, to have the reception that they're getting, 12 million views in under however many hours. It's trending. I mean, the teaser that he put out, 30-second teaser day before, got people really talking, wanting to see more. And then after today, we had grown men on YouTube reacting to this, crying. There were people that are emotional. I've even seen people having conversations on Twitter saying that they've ran into people and people have asked them, how's the trailer? And they said, well, I got teary-eyed. I think people are getting teary-eyed so much just because Superman, for a lot of people, was a lot of their first superhero. When you think superheroes, for a lot of us, I mean, Superman, maybe not be the first superhero you saw, but Superman is one of those first superheroes that is in your memory as a superhero, one of the first superheroes you might have seen. And I think for a lot of people, where the DC universe has went with Zack Snyder, the reboot, the exhaustion of, okay, Marvel's not getting it together, but DC just can't get it together. James Gunn coming on saying it's been fractured. It's still fractured. But again, I think this gave a lot of people hope. It did. I think it gave a lot of people hope. So we'll see. We will see July 11th.
I loved this trailer. 9 out of 10 teaser trailer. Not too much words in it. I can't play it because they'll copyright claim us, and that's a big problem that I have. But the rest of the rest of this trailer, what it was supposed to do, the way that it's been positively received, it's on the trending page on YouTube. There's a lot that we can say nice about this successful outing. This may be a $1 billion film.
I concur.
Marcus,
what'd you think about Crypto to Superdog and Lex?
I'm gonna preface my response by saying that I am not like a Superman guy.
I'm sorry to cut one time. Can you not play that with it muted while Marcus is talking?
Don't do it. Don't do it because
will it still do it? Okay.
Don't do it. Yeah, that's I mean, Warner Brothers. Anyways, yeah, not a Supes guy. Okay. I liked Man of Steel. I wasn't like as crazy about it as Superman fans were. The best comic book movie ever. I wasn't that hard on it, but it was pretty good. I kind of favored that Superman iteration, definitely over Rolf. I don't know if I favor it over this version yet because we haven't actually seen it in the movie. What I'll say about the trailer though.
Yeah, what do you think about the tone, sir?
Yeah, you're talking about the colors, right? So I think that there was a very obvious concerted effort to not be what Snyder's version was. The kind of darker colors, the grays. It was like we were in elsewhere world somewhere where it was like dark all the time, right?
The dead father.
Yeah, there was a concerted effort to kind of go in the opposite direction of that in terms of visuals. So I think that's what shocked so much people about the color grading, because it was just the complete opposite of what you were getting with Snyder. It shocked me a little bit, but I'll take it because I haven't seen the full movie. I don't know how this is going to look as it's continuously playing, so I don't want to nitpick too much. The things that looked bad, the cut scenes, man, like all of the cut scenes that didn't include Superman looked terrible. The one with Nathan Fillion. My God, what did y'all do to Nathan? What the hell did y'all do to Nathan Fillion? The CGI on the lantern ring reminded me of Ryan Reynolds. Jesus Christ, what is that? What the hell is that?
It is awful.
The shot of Mr. Terrific, I was appalled. Now that looked like something straight out of the CW. I wasn't a fan of the dragon monster that Hawk Girl was. I don't even know what the hell is that? That looks like, you know what that looks like? That looks like the same monsters that Shazam was fighting when he had those witches in the third Shazam or second Shazam, whatever the hell that was. When he was fighting the witches, this looked like those same monsters. Did those monsters come back and now Superman got to fight them?
Oh, yeah.
Again, teaser trailer, and I'm not the guy who's crying over a Superman trailer, no matter how good it is. So just take it with a grain of salt. But there was a lot of CW energy in this. And then come to find out, lo and behold, isn't the Flash cinematographer working on this?
Yeah. I've never thought about cinematography when I watch these movies. It is what it is.
I do. I will say.
Thought about it. You just don't call it cinematography. You absolutely think about the way that it looks and the way that it comes off, the way that they're shooting it. This feels a little bit like Crisis on Infinite Earths when we're not looking at Superman. Superman looked good. I don't really like his suit. I don't like the trunks thing. Maybe that's just me. I don't really like the trunks. But everything that didn't have Superman in it looked a little off.
Would you say about
I'll have to agree on one thing because I guess let me backtrack because I've watched the trailer quite a few times. I'm basing everything I said was just purely based on Superman and how Superman might have made people feel and seeing the symbol and the kids. I didn't speak on the other shit. I didn't speak on how Hot Girl looks awful. I didn't speak on how Guy Gardner looks awful. I was in a talking space earlier today where I didn't get to talk, where they were saying somebody had said that the writers are praising how Guy Gardner looked because they're like, well, I would write Guy Gardner that way and blah 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 blah, and they're like, oh, I think that just speaks to how this film is. That Rob Liefeld said great things about Deadpool and Wolverine. And are we ready to have the conversation that that's not a great film? It's a fun film.
Sure.
So just because these writers or whatever are saying some of the things that they're saying doesn't mean anything. I think that Guy Gardner looks awful. I think that Hot Girl looks awful. I think that I do not like Crypto. I said that from the picture when we analyzed that from the beginning. I don't like Crypto. And I also said this in my Twitter thing. I think opening with a beaten and bloodied Superman, and I saw Angry Joe said the same thing, is a little strange. I know somebody said, well, yeah, but it could get you, it's supposed to be that beacon of hope. No matter if you fall, you can get back up. I understand that, but this is supposed to be, our Man of Steel. And we opened the trailer and we haven't seen him on screen since realistically. Sure. And he's bloodied and beaten, and he's whistling to a dog that is no bigger than my house cat to come and carry him away. So I thought that part was a little
allowing creators to self-insert in the projects. I think there was a time when they did it and you wouldn't even know about it until years later. It would be like an Easter egg. I hate obvious self-inserts from creators. I don't give a shit. I don't care that you have poopy problems or that you have a shaggy dog. I don't care. That is your stuff. Keep your stuff, your stuff. Does it have anything to do with Superman? Why do you have to force yourself into Superman? Pause. Why do you have to insert yourself into... Why do you have to put your personal stuff into the story? That was going down a very crazy trail.
Why do they have to make it so hard? Oh.
yeah, literally. Why do you have to put your personal stuff into the project? James
I'm telling you why.
Dog, you love your dog. It's great.
Michael tells you why. Crypto. Because Crypto should have been a real dog, in my opinion.
He should have been a lab, like he's always been.
Like he said a real dog. He's saying that this is not really a dog. This is CGI.
I didn't even notice that. Yo, look at the way
that's definitely CGI. Right. Yeah,
it's not a real dog.
Yeah, I love that scene though. Not that where he. No. When he's sliding in to cover that shit is fucking dope.
The last thing that I think is going to be the worst part of all of this is what he swore up and down Grace Randolph didn't know shit about, the whole Middle Eastern subplot. In the middle of some of the worst conflict that we've had in that part of the world, that region of the world, in the last, at least in the last 10 years, 10, 20 years, you're going to shoot a movie where that area's savior is a shining white man, flying white Superman. You think that's going to clash very well with what's currently going on in that region. That's the narrative that you want to be on the side of, right?
But did you see the most recent quote he just put out? What he just somewhat, I won't say he exactly tapped on that, but I will say he is addressing that.
What did he say exactly?
Let me keep going. Let me pull it up.
Reds? Is it on Blue Sky? Is it Instagram?
Like I'm just looking.
It was on X, but I'm pretty sure everybody covered it, like Deadline, Screen Correct, all those guys. I'm gonna see. Hold on.
I'm thinking about the scene where the brown kid is pushing up the flagpole with Superman's emblem on it as they're being attacked, and it's like, okay, what are you trying to, like? What's the image you're selling here? Like this white savior complex on a million Superman. At this time. Come, I don't know how that's going
We
to
know
play.
that the Hollywood is huge. Imagery does play a part in our regular everyday lives. What we see on the news, they want people who look like this boy here to look towards that Caucasian American as the savior, and hopefully some people in that region can watch the movie and view their
This is
oppressor.
not going to play well.
Mhm.
This is Kamala Harris all over again. This is ignoring a very obvious social undertone and looking it in the face and saying, "No, I know better. I know what you want. You want a Superman. Yeah, I'll give it to you. I'll inspire you with the Great White Hope." Okay. I think it's going to come off offensive to a certain group of people. That won't drive the performance of the movie, I don't think. But I think that is going to be a subplot that is not going to go away, because that situation is not going to go away, right? Those circumstances aren't changing. And so it's not going to make people feel any better about it or feel any more connected to it to be driving that narrative, that savior narrative.
And every movie has it.
Mhm.
Anything. Every movie, if they're using military weapons or even bases, they'll
Mhm.
sign a little contract how you got to make us look good. We can't come off badly. Like America will say that, and there you go. That's why the military movies always got them heroic. Remember Falcon Winter Soldier? We're over Libyan airspace. We only have a little bit left until it's Algeria. But we
Mhm.
got it, and just in the nick of time, Falcon could do it. America didn't violate airspace.
Yeah. Perfect warfare. Yeah, man. We'll
I
see
can't
how it
find
goes.
it.
Do you think that Fantastic Four or Marvel is going to move Fantastic Four off of that date?
Absolutely fucking not. And this is what I really wanted to say in that talking space. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the reason why is because I know one of the things I was being said in there was like, well, it's they Kevin Feige and James Gunn are friends, and they have a still working relationship, and they if this succeeds, then it's good for Marvel, and they kind of need to just have. Let me explain something to you. Marvel has been at the top since 2008's Iron Man. Snyder tried to knock him off. It didn't work. It didn't work so bad that they had to reboot the universe. They even just in the most recent Marvel movie and you can call it a joke if you want. We all said the Wesley Snipes thing was a joke too. When he said, "Come over here to Marvel, we'll treat you so much better than those fucks down the street." If you think that Marvel is going to play nice with James Gunn and you are competing with us. You just dropped a trailer that is trying to compete with us. So now we've got to drop our trailer in the Fantastic Four that we're still dropping the same fucking day.
Drop.
There's no way in hell Marvel bends the knee to this. There's no niceness where Kevin Feige's like, okay, yeah, I understand because, this could be a box office madness thing. No, he wants the madness. He wants the competition. They have not had this. Kevin Feige is not playing nice with James Gunn just because James Gunn worked for Kevin Feige. The fuck? As a matter of fact, James Gunn just in a recent quote said that we're not doing things like Marvel does things. We're not going to have the connected tissue and things like that. And then he went on to say how he does not think that that's a conducive way to run. So if you think that these aren't little subtle shots being fired, if you think that Marvel's moving, okay, and if they move and I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't see them moving the Fantastic Four at all.
So they already saw one version, or at least Zaslav and the execs saw a version of the Spider-Man, Superman trailer, right? And then they went back to the workshop and they did some reworking. I'm assuming he saw it again before we saw it, the public, right? Anybody follow financial news at all? Anybody? No. Anybody big into financial news?
I think I know what you're saying. David Zaslav sold $30 million worth of stock right before now.
If you are getting ready to bank in on $1 billion film for one of the most storied comic book franchises of all time,
you wait for the trailer.
You sell $30 million in stock now?
No.
Okay.
Let me just do that right before the trailer.
Yeah, I don't think Disney's moving off of shit. I don't think they're moving off of anything. I think the more that we see of this production, the more the areas that James has already been struggling in will probably show their heads in the Superman movie too. Now it's a bigger brand, way bigger draw, so he's got a lot more room to fail there, right? Like he has to tank to fail. If this comes out and it makes 800 million on the first movie, they'll claim that as success, and it will be a success. It'll be fine. 500, 600 million range, that's embarrassing. That's bad. That's bad. So it's got to be good enough that they can serve the normies and get enough true blue Superman fans to sing its praises, so it'll have some legs. If they can do that, they'll be okay. But I'm not.
But you're also competing with Marvel's First Family and Robert Downey Jr., who they are going to put some type of tease for him in that trailer. Maybe not that first one, but that last one, the one that's going to matter to get the asses in the seats opening weekend. We're not paying this motherfucker 90 billion, however much $1 million they're paying him to not use him.
That's true. That's true. Here's another thing as well, though, that with the Fantastic Four, the only reason why we haven't had an opportunity to really rag on, well, no, we got a teaser trailer for them too. We already have a teaser trailer for Fantastic Four.
But see, that footage was just footage they filmed for SDCC.
Well, my point is, I don't think the Fantastic Four has generated it. Well, I'll say that I literally just forgot that it was even out. So if we go forward a month from now and I don't remember that the Superman trailer came out, then I guess we'll say they're on even footing. But I literally forgot that they even showed us anything from the Fantastic Four. It was a whole teaser already out. So I don't know. Now I'm recalibrating. I don't know who has the momentum going into that July.
It's really I still say Marvel does, and the only reason I say Marvel does, although Marvel has been fractured, although Marvel has not been the normies though aren't looking at it as like we are. They're not looking at it as like, oh, Marvel has sucked, or Marvel's the cracks are showing, or they're not reading Joanna Robinson's book about the reign of Marvel. They're not in those spaces. They're going to see the Fantastic Four. They're going to see Pedro Pascal. They're going to see Robert Downey Jr. hints of him or whatever else. They already know all of the movies and things currently in the Marvel timeline it connects, and that this. You had normies talking about Robert Downey Jr.'s back.
Or a cinematic brand like that can draw $1 billion audience.
That's the thing. I don't think that they are, but it's the simple fact. It's the simple fact that they are already they're putting this family in an already established 32 movies in universe with Robert Downey Jr. That's the big draw. It's already, you take which they're not. You take Dr. Doom out.
You can't do that. I don't think you can go into that movie marketing Robert Downey Jr. Like that has to be like your curveball. That's what I'm saying.
No. I agree. I completely agree. I think that the trailer is going to the first trailer, of course, is going to overall focus on Marvel's First Family. Robert Downey Jr., I don't expect hints of him or anything in the first trailer. I'm talking that very last one that they put out. The one that's like, okay, asses in the seats, I don't think they do the whole thing, because Kevin Feige was pissed with that Haley Atwell thing in Multiverse of Madness, where they put her in the trailer and they put Patrick Stewart in the trailer in the Multiverse of Madness TV spot. So I don't think they're doing that, but I think we're going to get some type of hint that RDJ is going to be in this, and he's going to be Doom, and this is going to be your first time to see his whatever as Doom. And if you market it that way, you still market the family all the way up until that last trailer. Then you bring RDJ in. It's like, oh shit, I forgot that he
I think with Fantastic Four, there isn't this
enthusiasm.
Well, there is an enthusiasm, but there's also not a whole lot of expectation there because of what the franchise has been cinematically. Like if Fantastic Four makes $700 million, I feel like it would be the highest grossing Fantastic Four film ever. I don't even think it has to make that much. Maybe $600 million, it'll be the highest grossing ever.
Right.
So there's not a very high bar to climb. There have been truly beloved Superman iterations that have come and have also been financially successful. So you do have some markers for Superman that don't exist on the Fantastic Four side. It's a lot easier climb. If we're talking straight head-to-head matchup, though, that one's a lot harder to call, man. I don't know where we're at. I have no clue. I don't really like the Superman trailer, but at the same time, I totally forgot about Fantastic Four. Marvel is in healthier shape, maybe, in the long term.
I'd say so.
But they also don't have recent wins, just like WB. They'll be depending on Thunderbolts and Captain America to re-galvanize the crowd. And if it doesn't, they're going to be in the same spot as DC. So I really don't know how to call that race, to be honest with you.
That is a tough one. I don't think Brave New whatever the fuck is going to invigorate the crowd in any way. But I do think that where I didn't at first, you look at those trailers, you look at Thunderbolts trailer, you look at the Superman trailer, that Thunderbolts trailer, regardless of your feelings with Marvel right now, it's fun. It's fun. And that's what Marvel's aiming for. They're aiming for a fun blockbuster that's going to get people like, the normies. The normies, I'm telling you, those normies are going to be like, the Thunderbolts was so fun. I saw some of those familiar faces.
Depending on, though, here for the last several years, they've been depending on the normie crowd. They haven't been serving us.
You're damn right.
Fans. So they've been depending on the normie crowd. What makes Thunderbolts different from what makes Thunderbolts different from the Marvels or different from multiverse?
Familiarity. I think just the familiar faces, the familiar but more fun faces, the familiar but likable faces. Carol's not a likable face. She's not.
We are not familiar with any of these fucks from the Thunderbolts. Not any of them.
Bucky,
maybe Yelena.
Bucky,
and that's
Bucky, Yelena. You got Bucky and Yelena.
Yeah.
Really, that's it. Unless you were watching Thunder, unless you watched what's it called? Those shows.
Carter. We don't care about Ghost. We don't care about who else is there. Is that everybody?
Red Guardian is there. We're going to be introduced to Sentry.
Normies don't know Red Guardian or care about.
But that's true. But they do know David Arbor. Yeah. And David Arbor is a popular name because of Stranger Things. And if he's getting out there and he's promotion and doing all that shit, then possibly so. You got Sebastian Stan promotion, possibly so. You got Florence Pugh doing the same.
Yeah, everything.
It might get those asses.
You're like, you know what? Yeah, that is an additional 10 million. Florence Pugh could rake in another 15 million if she really tries and really promotes it. What are we talking about though? We're talking about a movie we're expecting to be profitable, to be grossing 700, 800 million. But
then there is the draw of Sentry.
No, there's no draw on Sentry.
There is draw on Sentry.
No.
Are you talking about from normies? From normies, of course not. They don't know who he is.
You're talking about we know who Sentry is.
Yeah.
But when you look at who they casted to play Bob Reynolds, is that going to be the Sentry that you want to see on screen?
I have to see him in the suit.
It's going to be more akin to what they did. Oh, we forgot one. Taskmaster. Yeah, she's also there. Taskmaster, she is also there, right? He's going to be more akin to what they did to Taskmaster than to what he should actually be, which is like a Thanos level threat. Because you don't put a Thanos level threat in a movie with a bunch of people that you've forgotten about.
Okay, so SP Flash made a good point, and that is Daredevil. When does Daredevil come out? Because you do have that. Let's say that comes out. Does that come out before?
It's in March.
Before Fantastic Four? Okay. So if that comes out before Fantastic Four and that is popping and it's going to pop, that one's going to pop from Marvel, then maybe. And what does DC have before? Is it just Creature Commandos right now before Superman? And for whatever reason, still green lighting and talking about Clayface?
Just Superman and Creature Commandos. We really don't even know what's after that. We know Supergirl's been cast. Lanterns has been cast. They'll film it next year. Okay, so then I'm with the added hype and popularity of Daredevil, seeing Vincent D'Onofrio back in the role. You're about to get an awesome, amazing villain in why am I blanking? Oh, I'm blanking on his name. It's a Daredevil, the main villain in Daredevil.
No, it's not Kingpin. Muse. Thank you,
Huh?
Chief. Muse. Muse is the main villain, and Kingpin and Daredevil are supposed to be having to come together to stop Muse, but Muse is going to be the main villain. You're getting Bullseye back. Yeah, I think that if that really pops, then maybe people are going to be like, and then of course, right before Fantastic Four, you've got SDCC. So if they at SDCC bring out, do whatever, show whatever, talk about whatever. So I don't think Kevin Feige's playing nice with James Gunn.
No, he's not. No, now that we can all agree on. I don't think there's going to be any kumbayas. Let's all win together. That's not the calculus.
No, but we will see. We will see. It is going to be very interesting. I'll be seated for both. If they do drop on the same day, which I'm seeing first, man, I don't know. That'll be tough. I have to see that Fantastic Four trailer.
I mean, if you ask me today, based off of even how I lined up in my head, I guess I would go see Superman first because again, I didn't even remember that Fantastic Four was the thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. And something else I think is important to look at with the Fantastic Four is no reshoots. That was a flawless production they had. Flawless.
Now let's see the difference. I was about to say, let's see the difference. Now I'm actually interested to see what the difference is because according to Anthony Mackie, every Marvel movie I ever been involved in had these type of reshoots. Every movie I've been involved in spent $400 million. Every movie I'm involved in had a revolving door of auxiliary characters to try to boost me up so I can carry this film. Everyone I've been in.
Yeah,
we always
delete. Is full of it.
They deleted Seth Rollins' whole character, a WWE future Hall of Fame wrestler, known by many millions of people who tune in every Monday, who could actually, create a little bit of generation, a little bit of a buzz. He's on TV all the time. He'll mention it. Nah, we're gonna cut that character out.
What a company, man. They've been playing around with you for 2 years, man, and gave you a solo film with Harrison Ford in it as the villain. Like, oh man. Poor Anthony.
Yeah, I don't see it. What did I say, Blue? What was I forget what I said. But yeah, no, I don't see it. I think that also, yeah, I don't see it. We'll see. With Brave New World, though, we will. As far as on the don't speak too soon on the reshoots, is that what you're saying? That's because that's what I was saying too. Here's the thing on those reshoots. We all know that every production, Marvel, whatever movie, they plan for reshoots. They have these, those scheduled things in there, just if there's things they need to tighten up or whatever. Obviously, there are things that, because I think Joseph Quinn said that they were finished, they're done filming the movie, but there might be some things that he might get called back in to tighten up. But as far as like, we need to change this, the ending sucks, or Galactus just didn't pop in this scene, we ain't heard them doing that. So Anthony Mackie's full of shit. Brave New World got changed so much because it's a disaster. And you're still changing it, and we're about to be a month out from the movie. They just had reshoots. Yeah, so, bro,
see,
stop.
You're talking me back into the Superman thing, because now you're digging a hole. They digging a hole cinematically. We're gonna be expecting probably 7-8 weeks, 10 weeks. How many episodes of Daredevil are we getting? 10 weeks of Daredevil to pull us out of the door and get ready for another movie, another Marvel movie. Look, they better start putting some wins together, man. Like you're creating very apathetic audiences. That is a horrible place to be. You do not want to fill your fan base with apathy. It is one thing if they hate what you're doing. It's one thing if they love what you're doing. The worst place to be is I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Great. Agreed.
That's how I am with Marvel Comics, really. I don't care. What do you got T'Challa doing this week? What do you got him doing next week? What do you got Spider-Man doing? Like, you guys don't progress. It's just watching them fulfill adventures and fill time. I don't care.
And that's where I am with Star Wars. But
what was the 1.3 billion from Marvel?
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay. Yeah, that's not going to do anything for the greater. Like, it'll probably pay some bills for sure over there. It's not going to do anything for the greater MCU. It wasn't connected to anything. It did nothing for the actual story that we're heading towards in terms of the multiverse colliding. Did nothing.
It did nothing. I don't know if any, as I said earlier, I don't know if some people are really ready to just admit it. I mean, I said it like the week after we saw it. It's fun, but Deadpool and Wolverine.
I love that movie. I still love that
movie. Yeah. I love the movie. Don't get me wrong, but I'll be honest with you. It has. I'm not saying it doesn't. It does. It has major rewatchability. Have I rewatched Deadpool and Wolverine? I've seen Deadpool and Wolverine 3 times. That's
the
it.
reason why that's leading, though, Johnny Washington, and the reason why I said they need to string some of these together is because, everybody loved Wolverine and Deadpool, and it did get people back excited to see the next film. And you know what your next film's going to be? Thunderbolts.
Brave New World.
So didn't Thunderbolts come out before Brave New World?
Brave New World comes out in February, brother. Thunderbolts comes out in May.
Christmas, isn't it? Around Christmas? No? Okay, I'm tripping. All right, so even worse, the one that's been reshot 1,000,000 times. I would prefer Thunderbolts before, because at least that one didn't have the turmoil that Brave New World did. But it could go away that quickly, that fast. It was the same thing with Multiverse of Madness. We had a little bit of momentum. Oh, and then you had Guardians too. You had a little bit of momentum, and then here come Laughing Goats, and then it went out the window. Here comes Thor: Love and Thunder. And all of that shit went right out the window.
You know what's funny, Marcus? You screamed so loudly that you actually went mute for a second instead of us hearing a loud. So the frequencies were not even matching. That's how high them goats were.
Literally.
Okay. Deadpool and Wolverine introduced those casuals who are not watching Loki. Introduced them to the multiverse concept, and No Way Home did that.
Did it? I don't know if we've even really gotten to a point where the multiverse is the same thing in each of the projects that has been mentioned in. No. Like from Multiverse of Madness to Loki to Spider-Man, like what is the through line for all of those? What is the connection to all of those? They're all talking about the multiverse. They all explain it in their own way. They use it in another way. They never come into contact with each other. We just have 4 separate projects on the multiverse that don't connect.
And that's the thing about the multiversal saga in the MCU. We have yet to dive into the multiverse. We haven't. Like you said, we've talked about it, but we have not dived into it. Oh, I always forget about that shit.
Yeah, don't forget about Quantumania, because that was another one.
Yeah, we learned about incursions and things like that, but that's about it. That's about it. I am quite done with the multiverse saga. I'm ready for them to wrap it up.
Me too.
But
Daredevil had almost as many reshoots as Brave New World. Yes, but don't we like the reshoots that because now they're using Foggy and Karen again in their Deadpool? They changed the format of it.
Michael Nemo, if you putting scrutiny on it, then I think that's fair, because like you said, if they've gone back and retooled it that much, then something was wrong. And so if you have your eye on Daredevil as a potential stinker, I just for one have more faith in that solo character, because we've seen it been done already, successfully, and that's not the case with Sam.
I can't say that the reshoots for Born Again are that of Brave New World. Born Again's receptions, from what we have heard from behind the scenes and things like that, from people that have seen footage and the screening, have been very positive. Every time something comes out for Brave New World, it is very negative. And so they might have had the same amount of reshoots. I don't know that as a facting number, but they might have had the same amount. But those reshoots opposed to those reshoots, not the same reshoots. Because Brave New World, we'll see. We'll see in February how that one does as well.
So,
but with that multiverse and everything like that, that kind of segues us into BP3, obviously the recasting of T'Challa, and executive producer Nate Moore seemingly leaving Marvel Studios. As I said on Twitter, I don't think that this is We all knew this. We've talked about it here, asking where's Nate Milk Carton. Have you seen him? What's going on? We haven't really heard from him. We know he's attached to Brave New World. Haven't talked. Last time I heard from Nate was during Wakanda Forever. And I think that is purposeful. I've even said I think that the ushering in of Winterbomb was purposeful. Like let's start. We need to start showing this face a little bit more. We need to start having this guy talk because we're ushering this guy out because he really fucked up, and we allowed him to fuck up. But
I was about to say that is such BS.
It is because they allowed it.
Because I'm about to say, yeah, you let that man do that. You let him do it. You let him walk into the office with all this emotional. I talked to Cougar, and honestly, it was just 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes. What are you talking about, Nate? What are you talking about? $1 billion franchise, fam. What are you saying? Give those folks a tissue and tell them to come back in a year. Don't cancel. Don't kneecap the entire thing.
Yeah.
And the thing that, we've said all the things before. We've all said this, but I've even seen this on Twitter. I've seen it from Raymond and some others asking, okay, well, this kind of worries me with Nate Moore leaving, him being the last Black executive there. But one thing that we've all said, not all skin folk is kinfolk.
Paying us no dividends,
no attention at all. And before I drop some little things, because I did ask my source, I said, what's going on? Do we know what's going on? Anything with BP, with this green lighting? No really news on BP3 outside of whatever was told to be the last time, but there is some stuff on Nate with BP3.
Like, why? He fired. Why he get to come back?
Y'all aren't gonna like this. And I think again, although
decided on a concept, they probably.
I believe so. I believe so. So this is before, and I'll just kind of drop this. And after I say this, I'm gonna let this simmer so you guys can.
I'm not gonna
grain of salt as always.
Okay. Yes, your source, your boy, Jamie Hayter.
Remember when we had talked about? You're fucking stupid. Remember when we had talked? It was some time ago. I want to say when I had the big L-shaped desk. I'm just talking in general. Nate Moore had brought up Storm and when they wanted to introduce Storm and what he wanted to do with Storm and Wakanda and things like that. What I'm being told is that, yes, Nate Moore is going to be how quiet he has been on how quiet he's been with Brave New World, how quiet he's going to be very loud and in charge again on Black Panther 3. This is his last hurrah. And as his last hurrah, he wants to go out with some of the things and concepts for Black Panther that he wanted to do if he were to stay over at Marvel Studios. So from what I'm hearing, they're going to allow some of those concepts. And one of those concepts is Storm. And I do now, maybe they're telling, maybe he's being fired or leaving or whatever. Maybe they've sat him down and told him, nigga, with this third one, fix this shit. Bring him back. Maybe that's why Storm's in it. Or maybe, just maybe, they're going to continue to do what I've been saying that they're going to do. And that's age that motherfucking kid up. Because he was one of the ones that sat in that room, lied to, or told Van, we just couldn't do it. We just could not recast him. He is one of the ones that has doubled down, tripled down, quadrupled down in every interview discussing T'Challa. I do not see Marvel Studios, especially greenlighting this man that played a hand in stabbing T'Challa figuratively and literally in the back and killing him, putting him back on screen. Unless Marvel Studios and there's some type of mandate where they're telling him put him back on screen. If not, they're going to continue the story they ended with. That kid's going to be aged up by the time, because this could be some time after. We don't know what the effects of Secret Wars are going to do to the timeline and things like that. I told you you're not going to like it.
My beef with that is that's not T'Challa, and we collectively, not just me and you, but like everyone in the community of watching these movies, haven't really strongly enough made it known that kid is never going to be the character, no matter how old he gets, no matter what you call him. The sentiment has not been loud enough because they're thinking, oh, you guys want the recast? All right, bless, we're good. Here's the bastard. He's going to be older now, and that's it. I need to do a lot more in my Twitter advocacy. I really, really need to get it across that we reject this child wholeheartedly. The T'Child was always rejected. We call him Toussaint. We call him TJ. We don't call him T'Challa. We don't call
They
him.
don't care too. They don't care. They know. They know. Okay, like
I think that
they can,
public
if they can
sentiment.
do anything,
Yeah.
they can count. They can count. They also have Twitter. So when it goes viral, they see it. When you annoy
You
them
ever
with
watch a
that,
video of
they
everything
see it.
always and him talking, and then he'll say something like, "They're probably going to make him the new T'Challa." It's not loud enough. I need everything Michael
He is
Roman
an
to change
individual,
the
and
way he
he
thinks
doesn't
about
work at
TJ.
Marvel. You're giving them too much credit. You're giving them too much credit.
No, I'm not. That's how it works. That's how public sentiment grows. We put out the idea and we keep saying it. We get active with it, and then we make people who weren't thinking about it think of it our way, or people who were thinking that way change their mind. There's a lot of people who go, "Yeah, T'Challa recast is due because it's been this long. It's long enough. Time has passed." There are people changing their minds all the time. They can change their mind on little bastard Nakia's son being acceptable as a substitute T'Challa. We got to do a job at convincing people that this character isn't reoccurring. He's not what Batman is and what Superman is. This is a guy who exists now. He's never existed years prior in other iterations and other forms. He won't exist again in other forms once Marvel actually hard reboots.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. I hear what you're saying. They know all of that, Joe. They know it already. They know people don't want a substitute version. They are trying to make the child as T'Challa-esque as they possibly can without giving you the character that you want. That is the point of Storm. It's not for her to lead Wakanda. It's to give you the likeness of what you want, right? Oh, you want the king. You want the male leader. You want T'Challa. You want T'Challa next to Storm. Okay, we're going to make it fit into what we already have. This is not about what people... I have long realized that the sentiment of whether to cast or recast or not has already turned. Already turned. 850 from 1.5 billion is enough to say that it already turned.
And it can turn back, because if they give you this version of the substitute,
turn back. Let me
if
finish.
they give you this kid,
I'll let you go. It can turn back, right? But the reason why that they are not straight up just going back to what it should be is because they've already set the course to go in the other direction. Now everything that they do to course correct is not going to go back and say we were wrong. They're never going to do that. They haven't done it before. They're not going to start doing it now.
James Gunn was
Everything that
hired.
they do in the forward is just going to be course correction, but it's going to be on the same course that they set.
James Gunn was rehired.
Say what?
James Gunn was rehired.
James Gunn is a white man.
Did the last installment of a trilogy that he had already been working on. He already did the first 2 films.
He's not
already accepted back into Hollywood after his weird tweets. There was no reason not to let him finish out Guardians and then go off and be DC's president. That is not the same thing as saying, oh, we need to create a whole new character to lead this franchise when its entire history was under another, right? They made that catastrophic decision, and now they have to solidify it because they're not going back and saying that they're wrong. Just like Lucasfilm's never going back and making the Star Wars narrative about Luke, because they will never rewrite that story, because doing so will tell you that they've wasted billions of dollars driving the franchise into the ground. They will never admit that. I agree. Shuri. That's why Shuri's not going back up there. They did all this blowharding and they paid people to try to spin the narrative that it was misogynistic and misogynoir and people just hate women, and then they abandoned her, right? It's all about narratives. They know what people want. They are going to try and spin this into them giving them what you want.
And there were people who are going to go, oh yeah, look, there it is. That's acceptable. They recast it. That's good. And
if they do this movie will make less than Wakanda Forever.
I know that. I know
permanently
that.
Taint it. Okay. So then it's not about convincing them that a dollar amount is going to, or that more people want something. It's not about that, because they don't care. They will willingly make less money. They're walking head on into making less money right now.
All right.
They don't give a shit.
I'm going to make them from making less money to making less money by convincing more people that this bastard child that they're doing is a substitute, and that there are only a finite amount of movies.
Choir.
But I'm trying to find the guys who are not on the choir. I'm trying to convince them that there's only this little percentage that is going to go to an all-black movie with a black lead. And you would be wasting that resource, that rare resource, to put that into a character who doesn't have recurring ability. Like Blade, Wesley Snipes played him 3 times, and we kind of hope that Mahershala will play him again, but he set the foundation for a character. TJ is not a foundational character. He won't exist in next iterations, and that is a waste of a black casting and all of the resources. I have to get racial with it and convince that guy who may have been okay with the 3/5 T'Challa because he's from another universe, or because he is the child. He's not really actually T'Challa, but he acts like it because he's with Storm. I'm trying to convince that guy that this little character that they created is an obstruction, is blocking you from getting true, real representation. And even if he's as close as he could get to T'Challa, since he's not T'Challa, is always going to be a net negative. That's what I got to do with my messaging.
That's
and
a
I'll
lot
continue.
of words. I would just rather tell people don't pay attention to it. Like, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't explain it to them to that degree. It's an inferior product.
You got to explain it.
Nah, it's an inferior product. You spend enough time explaining, you're promoting the product. It's an inferior product. Let's move on to stuff that we care about, that where they're actually paying fan service, where they're paying service to the lore, where they are doing things that make sense. Dune Prophecy is getting a 2nd season. I love to talk about Dune. I'm not going to continue to promote, even if it is negative promotion, studios who show a complete disregard for what it is their audience wants. If that's the way you want to go about your business, then the best way to serve that business model is to go where they want to give you what you want to see.
Now was a great time to segue into the comic shop Kickstarter.
Beautiful segue.
Fun. Awesome.
Chef's kiss.
Do it again. You weren't on camera. Do it again.
Chef's kiss. What a beautiful segue.
There are things that we love and that we want to promote. And that this Kickstarter, which was at $160K American dollars, it was reached. They got 1,700 people to back the project. It's going to be a short episode. It's going to be episodic in LA of the OMG comic shop. That woman, Cheyenne, that's the showrunner. She's a writer and she's also the lead actress. And she's going to be doing a little jokes here and there. We, Pantheon, are all going to contribute to promoting it. And no promises, but I'm going to have her on my show. But no promises. I'm sorry. But back to the TJ thing, though. Back to the TJ thing.
I wanted to say this. Wait, what are we thinking? That they are going to put a different actor in the place of Chadwick Boseman as the T'Challa, and not you? Oh,
right
okay.
Now it sounds like they're aging up the kid, but
okay, I was going to say no. They're not doing that.
Why waste the time in explaining why people are not going to go see that? Chill. Even if they feed into the dogma, because they fed into the dogma last time. This is respectful. This is that. They said all of that shit online, and then they didn't go buy tickets. Or they went and saw it one time, and they didn't go see it again. Or they pirated it online. But they did anything but support it in a way that would show that they actually liked what they were seeing. So why fight the current so much? Watch them drown. Watch them drown. They want to march out an inferior product out there to prove a point. Then let somebody else lose their job. We already down Perlmutter, Alonzo, and now more. Who else can go? Who else can go? All of the Feige acolytes are gone. There's only one other place for that buck to stop. So if he's going to let this train go right into oblivion, make sure he's strapped in.
And I completely agree. I know Marcus is on the side of not wanting to promote it positively or negatively, but if they do this, I, for one, am going to be on their ass.
Guys, the train is not negatively. The station. You don't need to not promote it or worry about negatively promoting it. Change public sentiment now before Secret Wars is even written yet. Like you're telling me Secret Wars
so you're changing public perception as far as like recasting T'Challa
and rejecting the T'Child.
Yeah, but I think we've been trying to do that for
years. We've been doing
it, I'm still butting heads with some of the same people from 2020.
When it's too late, it'll be too late. But I feel like the time that we have now, when I mean time, I literally mean I'm talking about time. Time has been in our favor. It is more likely to accept the recast. The sensitivity of that's not Chadwick is fading with every year. So you're telling me you're advising me to stop? No, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna make sure that this message gets heard.
No, I don't think that. I think because I don't think he's saying stop. Because the part I agreed with was not well, I know Marcus said he's not going to do it negatively promoting positive or negative. I think he said when he's saying let them drown, as in like Kevin Feige, although whatever, I think that there was some nefarious shit, which I'm about to segue into with Bo DeMayo, whatever. But I think if, like he said, if he's going to sit there and let this shit happen again,
Yeah.
then let them sink this shit.
Fine.
Let them sink because the franchises, I've already said, I've been saying, the Black Panther franchise without T'Challa, the son of T'Chaka, is dead. It's already dead. This franchise is already dead if they do not recast T'Challa. So you can do BP3, you can do BP4, you can do whatever you want to do. You can do the World of Wakanda, you can do all Eyes, you can do all that shit. Eyes of Wakanda is, even though that little snippet that they spent and all that money on Eyes of Wakanda. Exactly. You forget about that shit because it's not centered around the character, the franchise's main character. It's centered around new characters that we don't give a fuck about, that are war dogs fighting for shit that only matters because T'Challa was even existed or created in the 60s. So the fact that we're having this constantly having these conversations, I think that we should let them, if they're not going to recast him, let them tank this shit.
You know what you want, Chill? You want a poison pill. You want to put something into the hearts and minds of people to negatively affect the direction that they're going in right now with the child. You know the best way to do that?
To prevent them from... Sorry.
Right, to prevent them. Yeah, no, to prevent them from going that way, right?
Yes.
You know what the best way to do that is? The same way I explained what the studios don't want. Is apathy. It's apathy. If you continue to go head on into the faces of the people that you know are going to resist you most, who gives a shit that you're going on a random Twitter thread complaining about recasters and you have 2 likes on a post that had 500 impressions? I don't give a shit because you're not going to go out and buy the movie. You're not going to go stand in line. You're not going to go buy merch. You are not going to positively affect this production in any way, shape, or form. The people who are going to drive the needle, the people who are going to tell you whether it is actually good or not, the people who are actually going to affect the bottom line, they don't want this. It's already been proven. They don't want it. They already rejected it. They've been rejecting it since Black Panther 1. We rejected it when you said you weren't going to recast them. Rejected it when the movie came out. When the box office totals come out, that made it empirical. Then it wasn't just opinion and feelings, right? Then it was actual dollar amounts that we can show to it. So again, if a executive of a film studio, we're beyond public sentiment because his job is to look above public sentiment and make a sound decision as an executive. So if he can't combine what the folks want, plus the numbers, plus what it was historically relevant for comic book characters, there is no amount of gerrymandering that you can do to change the situation.
We're not at the deadline yet. No, but we're not there yet.
I think we are.
You think the train left the station? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think if this is even a question at this point, we're probably in that direction where somebody needs to get fired.
Somebody did get fired. And when he did get fired, I did something that changed public sentiment in this discussing film post. I was a top comment showing how, what did I say? I said, it's good news for Black Panther. I wish Nate more good health and speedy employment, but he killed Hollywood's greatest inspirational African character on an impulse emotion. This was 165 times liked. This was bookmarked 64 times. And it was seen by so many people who probably weren't thinking of it the way that I was thinking about, who I have converted to the mindset of, oh, yeah, Nate Moore needed to go. Recasting needed to happen. That was the top comment underneath. 16,000 people.
And you think that if there was 10 more of us that could get 20 more people apiece to come to our side, that's going to make Kevin Feige go away from the concept that I disagree.
Yes, if enough people can get there, yes.
Yeah, I disagree.
He knows who discussing film is. We all saw that interview. Remember the
No. He knows, but you're treating it as if they're unaware of it right now. Like it's just not loud enough so that they've been able to not see it. They know. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, Chill. They know
and they don't think it's
there has to be a reason why we made.
Listen, they definitely know because of what Bo said the other day on Twitter.
It's a little minority, and they don't think it'll cost them.
They know what people want. They made a controversial decision, and they don't want to say that they were wrong about that decision. So to massage it and try to get the money back, we're still going to work with the characters that we gave you. We'll just try to give it to you in what you say you want, which is Storm and an adult T'Challa. But what we're not going to do is completely go back on it and say that we were wrong. We'll give you completely what you want head to toe. They're not doing that.
He kind of set the foundation for that. Remember that one quote he gave where he goes, "It was much too soon to recast T'Challa," which kind of gave you the idea, like, what's he saying?
But
I know
was
obviously that's not a
Feige
commitment to
that said
recast.
that, though. Yeah, that was Feige that said, though. Moore was the one that's always leaning on the emotions of the people in Marvel as to why they will not recast. Even in private Q&As with the public, right? There was the one clip where the guy was talking about writing a column, and he got actually asked Nate Moore in a Q&A about recasting T'Challa. And he told the man that there's probably going to be people that don't like this movie. This was leading up press to Wakanda Forever. He's telling people that you're probably not going to like the film, but we're giving you the film that we can make. We know that you're not going to be happy with this, but this is all we can do. If that is if that's the mindset for delivering a product to me, you can keep it. You can keep it. Have it. Keep that shit, brother.
Yeah, I've seen people saying this too. What Raymond said, and
this one, that one.
That. Well, go ahead and play that. Go ahead and play that.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
No,
good.
Let's go.
The conversation of should T'Challa ever be recast? Is Chadwick Boseman the only person who can play Black Panther? I have my own opinions on it, but I'm writing a column. But I'm interested in what y'all think about whether this character can ever be anyone but Chadwick Boseman.
I think everyone has the right to how they think it should unfold. You know, I will say, as a fan of the book, the Black Panther to me is a mantle, right? And was a mantle the first movie because his dad was the Panther. It's clearly something that's been handed down. I think that the story we want to tell is a specific story. It's not going to be the story everybody wants us to tell. And that's okay. You know what I mean? I think we only know how to tell the story that we know how to tell. And I hope when the movie comes out, people respond to it and take it for what it is. I think some people are going to come out of the movie going, no, we still believe what we think, and that's okay. We had to make the movie that we understood how to make. And Ryan had to write the movie that he understood how to write. The rest is up to you guys.
The rest is up to us. So yeah, if it's up to the audience to decide whether or not this is going to go successfully on this, he said it himself. The rest is up to y'all. So as an audience, tell him what you think about it. Tell him what you think about it. They already did. We already did, right? And I sure as hell don't think that he was thinking minus 600 million on his mind when he said that, right? He probably thought, man, here go the Hoteps being all Hotep about T'Challa. We'll upset you all. It'll be fine. Y'all will be mad, but y'all get over it. But that didn't end up being what it was, though.
Yeah,
Hoteps
you're right.
don't account for $600 million.
And this is why I don't even believe Darius is scoop. I think that Nate Moore was seen as that black voice in the room. We just saw him in a room, and he was the oddball. He was foreign. I think they were like, oh, we hire you for the reason. You're supposed to tell us about the Chillmonger, Marcus, Darius sentiment. You were supposed to be there to represent that, but you were giving us the wrong thing. You were telling us about how we couldn't recast. We don't even need you. Yo, your contract's up. We're not going to pick you up for another one. I don't believe
now that would be crazy if Nate Moore was the.
You don't believe that he's going to produce on Black Panther 3?
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That's not reported from my scoop. That was reported from Deadline, brother.
That was Deadline that reported.
I'll get to that. Yeah. Marcus, what were you going to say though?
I was going to say that would be even worse if Nate Moore was the driving force of the mantle talk and Marvel. I always thought that was Victoria Alonso's thing. I thought that was her, initiative to try to make the characters more of a replaceable model so that you can kind of interchange characters in there as you needed, as you grew out of age groups. If Nate Moore was the driving force to convince people that the Black Panther fan base would accept another Black Panther under the guise of it being a mantle, he never deserved that job in the first place.
I agree. Yeah, and he
deserved that job in the first place.
He switched things around for the Eternals also. He doesn't care. He thinks of mantles and titles and names, and he doesn't recognize true, authentic representation, and how meaningless stuff like Michael B. Jordan playing Human Torch is. He looks at that like, yes, we got one. Right, guys? Didn't we?
It's dumb. You make yourself out to be a liar, or at very least someone who's just letting on to know more than what they actually do. To me, Black Panther was always a mantle. So what comics are you reading, bro? What source material are you reading to come to that conclusion? See, there are things that people can say that are a matter of opinion and that you can't really kill them for. But when you start reciting facts that aren't facts, and I can pull up any number of books to reference to tell you that you're wrong, and you are an executive at this company. You're an executive at a comic book movie company, and saying something that is demonstrably wrong to the public about an IP that you're the executive producer of. It's just
It probably
blows
was
my
him who got Wonder Man being black. To the Deadline stuff, the wordplay is tricky. Although we'll miss him a great deal, we look forward to watching what he does next, while also having the good fortune of working with him in a new way on our next Black Panther movie. He was the producer before. Now we're working with him in a new way. Isn't that evidence he's not producing? The old way was producer.
He'll still have a producer's credit, but I think he's going to have some sort of influence. I don't think that they would mention that last part about it. They would just not say anything about anything that he's attached to and just give him the credit if they were going to sideline him and do the project on their own. They wouldn't even mention the fact that he was going to be doing it. Maybe the production company that he's working under or created or whatever, they're going to be involved in the next Black Panther. I could see that. But I don't think if they were just going to Bo DeMaio him, like quietly let him go and then still give him his writer credits and then just try to let it go like that, I don't think they would mention it in Deadline. They wouldn't even mention that he's going to be in an active new development of a project.
Even if he is, let's say he is, that does not change anything.
Right.
You still have Coogler as director.
Right.
You still have Coogler
We
coming in with all of that baggage. You still have him. I mean, again, I'm going to always go back to that. I don't care people telling me, oh, that was in 2022. He could have changed his feelings. No, brother. They're still crying.
No,
and that's their right. That's their right, for sure. Of course.
Sure.
Mourn, for sure.
But also, at least, so what I think might have happened, if he got let go, this is probably what happened with Nate. He came in there talking that, listen, y'all, they don't want to recast. And I really don't want to deal with it. Don't want to piss them off. Don't want them in the media running us through the mud. Let's let them make this next movie without T'Challa. He said okay to Ryan Coogler, and Ryan Coogler did what Ryan Coogler does.
Oh, he killed him.
And Ryan Coogler did what Ryan Coogler does. So now I said that they were okay not to have the man in the movie. He wrote what he wrote. They all love it. If I push too hard, now I look like the craven animal from the Marvel machine, right? And I've been playing this role of this counselor, right, through a movie production. So I have to, right? Kevin Feige, like, hey, look, man, your rope, your noose. Go ahead. Let's see how it goes. And it went how it went.
And we don't have to sign you. We don't have to extend you. All right, look.
He got all of the pushback he was getting and the pressers leading up to the film, how he responded to it, all the quotes with terrible quotes. Some of the worst quotes we ever got out of Marvel was coming out of Nate Moore during the press lead up for Wakanda Forever.
For everything. Remember when he didn't want to hire comic book fans?
But then how do we explain the animation stuff? How do we explain,
what
97, just not using him at all? How do we explain these video games, if they are in correlation? Like,
so,
they're...
that Nate's part of Marvel, even though they didn't call it that, it was the black section of Marvel. Right?
Of course.
Section. He had all the black projects. He had Ironheart, he had Black Panther, he has Falcon. He's doing all the black stuff. It was the de facto black wing of Marvel.
Right.
The Urban Avengers.
Now, the type of company that Disney is, remember, this is the same company that had people up Bo DeMaio's butt because they wanted Scott to be the male leader of the X-Men.
Where were they
So
up?
imagine having that sector of Marvel set an edict. Chadwick is Black Panther. We're saddened by his loss, so we are not going to recast and we're not going to republish this iteration. So then now you want to be the white counterparts on the other side in the X-Men room saying, screw that, we're going to do whatever we want with T'Challa. You want to be the production outside of that umbrella that bucks that. Not at Marvel. No, not at Marvel.
No, not at all.
You would probably get away with that. Not at Marvel.
But then do we look at what Bo said though? I know that people are saying in the comments, ignore Bo, and I agree. Bo does do a lot of fucking talking. Bo likes attention. But when it comes to that T'Challa stuff, we have to go back to what he said during X-Men 97. That there was, it was not up to him and things like that. And even though we're looking at what he said with that, looking at how he treated Sunspot, all that shit. I'm taking Sunspot out of the conversation really quick. I'm just looking at specifically T'Challa and what he said about T'Challa. If you take up what he said then you take the cryptic ass shit when he jumped into this chat on Twitter the other day, and he said, because somebody, Blue had said something about, I don't remember exactly what it was, but somebody had said in response to Blue, what if he wasn't, or no, they said, Blue said he's probably gone for killing T'Challa. And then somebody replied and said, well, what if he's not, and what if he wanted to keep him? And then Bo replied, this is all under Bo's deal with the bell. As in bingo, ding, ding, there it is. That's the answer. So then I come in and ask him, are you saying that Nate didn't want to get rid of T'Challa?
And said all that he said?
Right.
And went with the mantle talk and the Shuri and all that stuff and created a new character. You went that hard to the opposite direction of what you really want. Man, listen, man, it sounds like course correction to me, but I don't work.
Wait, you mean that videos and tweets and things can change people's minds, and now Bo DeMille wants to look like he was on the side of T'Challa continuing? You mean that we could make people change their minds, even though they're...
First of all, if Bo DeMille knows today,
ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got Marcus.
If Bo DeMille knows today that public perception is not on the side of not recasting T'Challa, he knew that by the time Wakanda Forever had aired.
I don't think he did. I think he was in his little creative bubble.
We
don't talk about T'Challa on the sidewalk. It's not just something you know. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you so I can't hear you, but people don't really know about the recast stuff. They don't put thought into it like the way that me and you have. So he's like in his Hollywood bubble of not. He
knew. His cat's name is Chadwick. He knew.
He had a sensitive emotional attachment. He didn't see my tweets and my stuff. He follows me now. I'm pretty sure he understands if he's on his timeline. If he's on his timeline, I'm sure he's seen a video or two, the T'Challa sentiment. I'm sure people on Twitter have told him after the Marcel for Congress got.
Okay. Let's say even before everything played out, before anybody got any fever about this on the internet, you don't think a guy who worked for a comic book company knew the very present jeopardy of not putting the main title character in the movie? You don't think he knew that from the jump? Not being convinced, not following you on Twitter and seeing the recast T'Challa trending days. I mean, the minute that they said that they weren't going to recast T'Challa, you don't think an individual who works at a comic book company goes,
he literally told us. But yeah, he told us that that's not how they did the Joker. They had to have some time away from Joker. Right, so that's what we're doing with T'Challa.
So that was always in his mind. Now, whether or not he spoke about it publicly, decided on whether or not he felt safe to do so. But he always knew what the sentiment would be.
No, he thought the overwhelming. He ignored that, whether he knew it or not, Marcus. Maybe he knew it. He said the decision I'm going to do.
It's not incumbent on me to make you stop ignoring something. But if you've known it all along, I'm not everybody's therapist, nor are you. We can't make people go with their better judgment.
I just did. It's right
with
there.
Who?
With Bo DeMille. Now it's ding, 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 ring the bell.
And you're attesting that directly to you. You're claiming that.
The popular opinion of how T'Challa is so important and can't be missed. I'm not Chillmonger, the content creator.
You get what I'm saying. The movement. I guess, man.
Hey,
I don't think he's any more aware of the
We
fact
got
that
him.
people wanted to see T'Challa now than he was before. But it's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't. I still think he's full of shit. I just think I just think it was interesting for him to join that chat and say that.
To Blue, who's asking what was the meaning of the bell. Usually, when like you get a correct answer, someone will be like, "Ding, ding, ding!" Like you have a winner. I think that's what he meant when he was dinging.
That's what
the
he's
bell.
saying. That's what he's
Think
saying.
so.
He's implying. That's why I said, why even jump in and say that? Like he's implying that Nate didn't want anything to do with, or it had nothing to do, or wanted to keep T'Challa in the movie. Is what he's implying
What if
by
he's
that.
just trying to get a friend? Now he got another disaffected black man from Marvel. He's trying to make friends. He's just trying to make friends. That's all.
Well, what did he say in his overall? What was the overall tweet? Because it says something about black, last black. Because he picks and chooses. So what did he say? He's black that day. What did he say on the 17th? Is Black Day.
Whoa! Unless there were new hires since I left, there goes the only black executive producer at Marvel. LOL. No.
Yeah.
We could lose Nate Moore. It's
Hey,
fine.
he's funny as hell, man. That's a good one.
He's right, but like the actions of Nate Moore aren't, or the ideology of Nate Moore missing isn't something that makes me sad. It actually pleases me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. We saw Monica Rambeau diminished under him. We saw Sam and Rhodey really have to wait until
Was he involved in Secret
Marvel
Invasion?
old card. Who's that?
Nate.
I don't know.
With Sam and
I feel like there's too many black characters for him not to be involved. He would have had
I
to.
say this, Darius. Even if he's not involved, he's supposed to be in the office to be like, "Hey, yo, by the way, you're doing this thing with."
No, I agree.
So like having him there, he's supposed to interject himself, even on projects he's not involved with, just to say that can't fly.
The one,
Yeah, but then they're
Nate
gonna have this conversation like, oh, he's being too black. We don't like that. That's not Nate.
But they
That's
stick him with all the black talent and all the black projects. It's
but that's just for show, Nate.
black.
You know,
You all the black talent to work with.
you can't speak up.
The number one character that he should have pride in is the one that he retired. So unfortunately, even though he was the big bad black executive at Marvel, he just wasn't wasn't successful at driving whatever agenda he was trying to do, or he was going along to get along, which is what I thought.
But I mean, one of the main things I always say is you take it back to that video in 2018 or 2018. I always do that when Black Panther dropped on
Who was the executive producer on the Marvel? Oh no, Marvel's was Kevin Feige. You're right, Lawrence. Marvel's was Kevin Feige.
Oh, that is Kevin Feige on the Marvels.
Ooh. Yeah.
He still could have said something about.
He didn't have anything to do with Monica Rambeau.
And he still slipped it in.
He still could have said,
if he's
I
not
know you guys got this scene
over that production, I won't put that on him. There's enough to blame him for than to not. If Monica Rambeau's just not on that bucket, then I won't do that. But there's enough there to criticize. There's enough Sam Wilson, Rhodey, and T'Challa to go around. There's enough.
But Nate understands how important T'Challa is. He said it. He said, in order for people to first love the Black Panther, they have to love.
He did say
T'Challa.
that. He did say that.
I actually don't think I read that differently. I read that as to like this mantle and to like this world, this mantle, this person that we're gonna apply on other.
I don't read it that way.
That's how I thought he meant it.
I didn't get it. I didn't get that. I mean, because there was no
mantle
mantle talk in the first movie. Nobody was talking. I don't even think around the first movie. No, did anybody even say the word mantle in the first movie?
There was plans. There was a scene where Shuri raises her hand at the waterfall. So they did wanted to warm you up to the idea of somebody else.
Okay, but I'm talking like outside of the outside the movie. Like that wasn't a conversation. Mantle didn't become a conversation until they decided to kill T'Challa. So with that, it's just like I don't think that they.
So I mean, maybe that is evidence of him having to get along, say some stuff that he didn't really agree with.
You see this shit?
You see this
shit?
Yes. Yeah, we still talking about it, dog. Yep.
There was a
Us,
major
96
firing.
other people.
There's weeks to say that to us, and I get it. This is not one of those weeks.
You made me forget where the hell I was at. What was I talking about? Jesus. He took me completely off. Oh, he may be doing something that he didn't want to do, because again, he did flat out say, if you're gonna love the Black Panther, you have to love T'Challa. I don't see how you can interpret that any other way than what he said. And then just 3 years, no, not 3 years. What? No, it was like 3-4 years later. He's talking about, oh well, it's a mantle, and it's always been a mantle, and we have to make the movie that we can make. I mean, he does kind of sound like a guy who's saying something that he doesn't want to say, but I would want to hear it out of his own mouth. And then B, there's still so much. You went so hard, so far. Like,
So
if you
hard.
were going to be out of here anyways, maybe make that the last straw, to signal to folks that maybe want to be behind your back and protect you. You know what will be a good test for all of this? Let's see what Nate Moore does after Marvel. If it was so hard for you to push the Black agenda at Marvel, if you were just facing hurdle after hurdle after hurdles, then when you have your own production company, it should be seamless. It should be just easy. The chains are broken. Let's see what Nate Moore makes. What is the first project he makes out of Marvel? And that'll tell me a lot about maybe what he was trying to do while he was there.
Nate Moore, if you are watching this video because you searched your name on YouTube and now you're looking, you made it this far, we're looking for characters with both parents. We're looking for inspirational people with jobs.
Basically everything that wasn't at Marvel.
But we want inspirational characters who are not like rejects. We want
Whoever
no negative
sidekicks or villains.
You know what I mean?
Whoever they get in there as the replacement, the next skin folk, they're still it's gonna be the same. It's going to be, you are a diversity hire. You are here to be the penguins from Madagascar. You don't need to do nothing more than smile and wave. And we're going to put your name on all the Black projects, and we're going to parade you around to talk for the Black crowd. But we want you to do no more than smile and wave. These are our characters.
Ooh, let's hire a new Black executive for Marvel.
I was right about to say, you read my mind. Yeah.
Let's headhunt. Let's see.
Who's that guy from Fat Man? Who's that dude?
Find the blackest, whitest guy you can think of in the business.
The blackest, whitest guy.
And that's who they're going to set up.
I like Malcolm Spellman. Malcolm Spellman, who's the screenwriter on Falcon, and he's doing Brave New World. I got to see Brave New World first, but I think keep him around. Keep him in the bullpen.
Light-skinned dude with the hair?
Him. I've heard him talk.
Option.
Okay, options.
Let's say,
man, he allowed some crazy shit on Falcon and Winter Soldier.
What if they were to hire? Well, you can't necessarily. I don't think you hire a director.
Help us out, live chat. Give us some suggestions. Who's Barry Jenkins? I guess I should probably. Oh, Reginald Hudlin. Hudlin. He's got some Hollywood cachet.
Okay, he does have some Hollywood cachet. Reggie Hudlin wouldn't be bad. Reggie Hudlin wouldn't be a bad pick, actually.
That's a great pick there. If he's not,
it is a good pick, but they're not going to. Why would they do that?
They wouldn't. They would. Cord Jefferson. That guy just won an Oscar, didn't he?
Cord Jefferson would be a great pick.
His movie tells me exactly how he thinks about the sort of Hollywood stuff. His Oscar speech, where he's talking about we got to spend this much amount of money on movies and create new movies. Like, I want that Cord Jefferson guy. What is he doing?
I have an idea. I think Disney would love it. It would be one of those things that they would flaunt in the media till the cows came home. It would be more of a mascot pick, like Darius is saying, than anything for them.
Raven-Symoné?
I don't think that I like Regina King. I do like that. I also like Regina Hall. Regina Hall also has a production company as well. But this pick, I think, while they would treat her as, or they would treat the hiring as kind of publicity.
Did she get to it?
Mascot.
Hurry. Look how many suggestions we got. Kevin Grievous that I want to like talk on. I want to talk on
Let
Jordan Poole. I
them
want to
give their suggestions and we can talk about them when I'm done. All right. Lordy, the manners on this podcast. Anywho, for the people who have a schedule to meet,
Damn, I hit on my chair.
Issa Rae. Now, the only thing that gives me kind of hesitation, she doesn't do genre. I haven't seen her do her own productions in sci-fi or action or, she's more comedy, drama is her alley. But if we're talking about a person who would fight for us in those rooms,
sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You also got to know enough to fight. You got to know comic book stuff.
She doesn't know a lot, and that would be a weird balancing act. So I think you could probably do maybe what like Warner's Brothers did. So you got a comic booky guy, and then you got a business guy. So do a James Gunn or a James Gunn Peter Safran thing. Give her a comic book as Reggie Hudlin, Issa Rae would be a dream team. Let Issa Rae go argue while Reggie creates a comic book. That would be beautiful. That would be beautiful.
Go ahead, Darius.
I would like.
I don't think
directing, but I don't know if she could be it.
Yeah, I don't. As I said, I don't know about Nia DaCosta's Amon Benali. Blue.
He wouldn't
what?
He wouldn't do it.
Why not?
Aaron McGruder absolutely would not do it because he wouldn't work for Disney.
Because first of all, there is no way he would go in there and work under.
You ever heard Aaron McGruder speak like outside of Boondocks? Yeah, they're not hiring him, and he's not working there.
Would you work there
at Marvel?
Like this certain job that we're talking about right now that we're making up? The advisor.
Producer?
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah!
I would.
And I'd make them fire me too. Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'd work at Marvel as one of the little, hey.
So then why wouldn't Aaron
get me coffee? Type of people, because I'd slide in ideas. I'd be like, hey, I really like that T'Challa black character guy. Maybe we should get him back in there.
Good choice.
I think Aaron McGruder is a little bit even more disaffected with America than I am. So like I don't think working for a conglomerate is in his future ever again. He's probably never going to work for another corporation.
Saying he's the stone that the builder refused.
I'd leak shit if I worked at Marvel, purposefully too, just for not recasting T'Challa.
I don't know if I'd leak stuff, but I would definitely take wild swings. They would be calling me in the office quite a bit.
Oh, as my last,
Falcons canceled. Scrap it. Let's get a tax break.
You seen those videos where people quit at Walmart and get on the intercom? Yeah, my last hoorah out. I'd give me Avengers 9. You leaked that plot.
Send a very wordy email telling everybody who I didn't like.
Check out. Raymond says that I sent it to you, chilling a message that I guess John today made points about recast T'Challa that he's never heard before made. I haven't watched a John Campea video in quite some time, but I do know he is pro recast. Do you want to see what he said?
Sure.
It's in a message to you.
John Campea. Any Canadian?
Yeah, he's either Toronto or Hamilton. I forget which.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's Canadian.
You got
I don't
big
like
house.
the way you
I didn't know
said
they
that,
had houses like that in Canada. It's huge. Got a mansion.
No.
Maple.
His current home? He lives in LA.
Oh, well, that's why it looked like that. I was about to say he got houses on a mountain. He got a big ass pool.
Yeah, he lives in LA.
It's like they doing it like that in Canada.
It's a 9-minute video.
Where does it start, Raymond?
I can find that out actually. Hold on, let me just skim through it.
Let's go on and talk about this. Out there that Marvel may be looking at actually doing comment, and he specifically said looking forward to making Black Panther 3. So the Denzel thing, we kind of then knew after Denzel said it, but again, it was still open. Okay. I have thoughts.
Here we go.
I don't care.
John.
I don't care. Black Panther was amazing. I love that movie. And I'm not saying that you can't do Black Panther without Chadwick Boseman. Not at all. You can, even though Chadwick is the one who breathed the heart and soul into the character and all that kind of stuff. And the first film was amazing. You could have the IP could have continued. The legacy of the character could have continued. Instead, they made really bad decisions for the second one. Again, making Shuri the new Black Panther made no narrative sense, especially when you had Nakia there. Nakia, the warrior.
This is where I disagree with them still.
The one with international espionage experience.
Because
The
we're saying
combat
anybody
artist.
that's not
I was about to say,
T'Challa.
yeah, let's get on with it, John. Let's go.
Who fought her way into whatever they called Atlantis. What did they call Atlantis in Black Panther 2? I can't remember now.
Talocan or
Talocan, that's right.
Kukulkan.
Single-handedly battled her
That
way
dead tongue,
into
boy.
Talocan to rescue the fair princess. And then was like, well, we got another flower. Who's the most logical choice to take it? International espionage seasoned warrior princess
We'll skip
Nakia
ahead.
or Lab Girl?
Neither.
Well, I was about to say one
Chadwick,
makes sense canonically and the other
fallen
one doesn't.
leader.
But we won't, I guess.
Problem. And again, it was just a dumb decision. They should have recast T'Challa.
There you go.
They
Let's
should
get to
have
it.
said, Chadwick,
Hmm.
our fallen leader, don't worry. We've got your back. We will pick up the baton for you, and we will carry on this legacy of this important character that you've created. Not just Black Panther, but T'Challa. We will carry on this important character for you and all this kind of stuff. And quite frankly, with how great the first one was, the second one was really quite disappointing.
Facts.
It made a good amount of money. What did it make? Like around $800 million or something
It
like
made
that?
859, but the budget was high. It was reshot many times. Advertising this movie cost a whole lot of money. It was not profitable from its theatrical revenue. They had to factor in or home video. They had to streaming services, licensing to call this movie profitable. The expenses were not met through its theatrical revenue.
Can you double check that? But it made a lot of money. I had never
made 859.
859. So about 6 months after the movie, I went back to watch it again just to see, how did I really feel about it? And I liked it even less the second time.
Never watched it.
And I
Never
just kinda
seen
feel
it
at this
again.
point, unless you do some major course correction, which again, listen, it's Ryan Coogler being in charge. I mean, I've got all the faith in the world in Ryan Coogler,
Okay.
even though,
Pause real quick.
however I feel about the second film.
There are a lot of people that do this in his position. Stephen A. Smith's, a lot of commentators that will criticize all the way up to the point of being mad at an individual, right? When it comes time to point the finger at somebody who actually made a decision to make what you're angry about happen, they stop and they start bowing down. Right? He came all the way up until the point of the decision maker of what he just said was dumb and a lot of bad decisions and said, oh, well, it's Ryan Coogler. I'll trust him to do whatever he wants. Man, you just said that every decision he made was terrible. So don't stop there. Criticize the man. Criticize the man. Maybe if he felt a little bit more pressure from people who are bigger, he would do differently. But since you go right up to the line and tiptoe and say, oh, this movie was so terrible, it made so much less money than the first one, but I still love Ryan Coogler and he can do whatever he wants.
Maybe
Jump
because
over that edge, man. Take that leap.
I think Coogler is capable of making a movie. All right, you could tell me right now Wakanda Forever pulled your heartstrings. My problem isn't that. My problem is that the top character ever with melanin in his skin in the history of cinema was taken off of the franchise forever. That's my problem. And Ryan Coogler could have made a great movie while that happened. I've seen great slave movies, but I'm not interested in watching them either. He's just on code. See, he doesn't want to go. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna keep playing.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
So I believe he's capable of doing it, but for right now, I just have to admit I just can't feel any excitement about a Black Panther just because I just felt they dropped the ball in the second one so badly. I don't know, Chris. We've now got Marvel executives confirming Black Panther 3. What are your thoughts on that?
For me, it's not that I don't care. But what about the other movies that are supposed to come out? Give me those ones.
Blade?
What's
Right.
happening with Blade?
Oh, come on.
Like, no, truly, I do want to know about that. I want to know about what's happening with Shang-Chi. I want to know about these other films that were supposed to come out prior to this one.
Shang-Chi is
Also,
in a
I
barrel
love the idea that like Denzel Washington got in trouble for letting everyone know that a Black Panther 3 was going to happen.
He's like, oops.
no, like you think Kevin Feige and Ryan Coogler are going to take him to
Should I keep playing it?
I really don't want to hear Chris, unless she's talking recast.
She did.
I
She
mean,
said
she
would
didn't
recast.
say nothing wrong. I am, thinking
I have
about
not
watching
ever heard. Is
Panther
she
and Blade
recast?
not doing nothing.
She's
says
pro
it.
recast.
Yeah, she says.
Oh, I don't think I didn't know. I've heard her say that before.
task. No, he's Denzel Washington. He can do whatever he wants forever. Nothing
Even
really
with
Denzel. I love
so
him.
many
Like he did to his
female
Campea, when
co-hosts,
he heard
man, I
Oh.
can't keep up.
But
Well,
yeah,
fair, but as long as he didn't spit it in somebody's face, some
That's
poor
true.
intern,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Hold on.
I think that I don't have as much of an issue with Shuri being the Black Panther as you do, just because there is comic precedence for that happening. I
Duh.
understand that there were
Campea.
many other options that made a lot of sense and made more narrative sense for this context, but it was one of those things of I don't think anyone would have been happy with any choice ultimately. Not every person, at least, right? You couldn't appeal to everybody's personal wants and
Never
needs for that
can.
next movie, and you
Yeah,
can't.
never can.
And ultimately,
point.
yeah, they probably should have recast.
There, she got to it. They finally should have recast. But what she was saying earlier, though, about like this comic precedence, if you read the comics, T'Challa is the main character of all those comics. Even when he's not Black Panther, that next year we're watching or reading him in Daredevil's Hell's Kitchen, and he's the star of his. She doesn't have an ongoing comic as the Black Panther. She was rejected by the Panther god who bestows the power, and she only called herself Black Panther because they're like, they rejected you, but the Panther didn't kill you either. So maybe you still are the Black Panther. And T'Challa never died, and he was always around. There was precedence for that. Next thing she said was, you can't make everyone happy. That is a very strong fact that ignores the outcome.
Yeah, I was saying it's really
in these two
irrelevant.
scenarios. The result of one is the greatest Black superhero ever is not on screen anymore, and representation comes to a halt when it comes to elevating that character. And the result of the other is that representation continues. So even though you're not gonna make everyone happy, I'm gonna go with the result, which is T'Challa continuing and being awesome for more generations. So making two groups unhappy, one's gonna be unhappy, one's gonna be happy. That's just a result. That's like an inevitable thing. Think about the results.
There isn't a movie that's been made that made everybody happy. That is such a nothing
Of course.
statement. It's what are you talking about? What are you talking about? We had a fire that didn't make people cold.
She's just
Like,
getting
it doesn't
around the
make sense.
conversation. But specifically, executive judge, when my relationship faltered with the Campea show was during the infamous Oscar slap, because they covered that for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and just pounded Will, just pause. Just were really, just were really on him negatively. And so me and her got into it in the comment section about their praise of Ezra. Not praise of Ezra, the treatment of how they're saying like, how light they were on Ezra so anyway, we just went back and forth on that.
Yeah, man. When did I stop watching Campea? I think after the Disney Plus shows started to fall off a bit, around like Loki season 1. After Loki season 1 is when I kind of got off of them. Plus, I didn't like the shuffling of the co-hosts. Like when I was still watching, Rob was on his way out. Kim was gone. The blonde
Kim
chick
just
that he
fucking
had on
disappeared.
there. Yeah, shit, I've seen her pop up with Brandon K. Avery more than anybody else lately. Shout out to Just My Opinion Reviews.
No, we're not enemies.
Who's that? Oh, girl, Chris.
Me and Chris. No, we're not enemies. Executive judge. We just I just definitely didn't care to hear what she had to say unless it was more recast.
I don't know if there was actually like an inflection point where I was like, I'm not listening to this dude no more. I think I just kind of slowly started bleeding out.
Yeah, for me,
How
it
did
was
he-
really
what
the
did he
slap.
do with the Major stuff? How was he on Jonathan Majors? Anybody?
I have no idea. I really did not.
'Cause if he was
Actually,
on
there
Wheels
was
back
things I
then, he
saw.
actually gave Jonathan a fair shake.
Oh no, he definitely did. There were things I saw because he likes to bring out his law degree, or I don't know if he has a degree or his
Oh, he's
time
a
in law
lawyer.
school
Oh.
or whatever he did with law. He likes to bring that out. So he likes to talk about how, well, and this how this would go. And and that. So I think if I remember correctly, there wasn't positive toward Majors from the Campea show.
Okay.
Was he? Oh, executive judge said he was sympathetic on Majors.
Okay. I had long stopped watching by then.
That might have been. I had, like I said, I stopped watching during the Oscar slap. So that their treatment of Will really pissed me off. I'm a very big Will fan, and that I was like,
She hold on. She moved to New York, so she couldn't do a virtual show anymore. She couldn't Zoom. Can't sit down in front of the TV. And the only reason why I'm calling questioning that because I feel like he's had beef. Like all of those relationships.
Aaron was too real.
seamlessly.
Aaron didn't kiss John's ass. Aaron had her own opinions,
She was an
and
actor.
when it
like
in
where
the
you were
business,
just kind of talking about it. I've been involved in this business. Like,
and they would bump heads about that shit. Yeah, they'd bump
Yeah.
heads about that shit.
Cool.
Yeah, Aaron had. Yeah, that's why.
I didn't know we were doing commentary on John Campea today. Well,
we was waiting for you to get back. Hey, look,
Oh.
we trying to fill space, trying to fill time. We was trying to help you out.
all right. I'm back. I'm back.
There we
I'm
go.
back. Superman trailer. We talked about Nate Moore and Black Panther. Did we finish everything we wanted to say on Nate Moore and Black Panther? Do we have a finalists for who should be the correspondent for who Marvel should go to now that Nate Moore is gone? Is it Antoine Fuqua, Kevin Grievous? Who wins this? Who was the best suggestion that they gave us in the live chat? Reginald Hudlin wins for me.
I think so too. I think there's a few of those that they won't hire, like Gervaux. I think Gervaux's been trying to work at Marvel for a while.
Kevin Grievous?
Who's that?
Who's Gervaux? The Blue Marvel guy?
Gervaux. Yeah, that's his name. It's Gervaux.
It's pronounced Grievous.
Oh. Give me the show it again.
Yeah, you could be wrong twice today, Marcus. I got you already.
No,
You sure?
bring his name up. I'm pretty sure his name is Gervaux. Then the end, it's like the bow. It's like Buax or something like that.
It's spelled that way, but he pronounces it
It's
Grievous.
dog. It's Gervaux. Is that ending of it is like a bow.
You're
not-
right. It looks like that. You're right. It does look that way.
I don't even know why we doing this. Yes, Reginald Hudlin would be my pick. Who's your pick, Darius?
I mean, yeah, Reginald Hudlin, sure, but I guess I'd go with obviously Reginald. I'd go with Regina. If to just go against not choosing Reginald Hudlin as the obvious answer, I'm going to choose Regina
Oh.
A Hall or King?
King.
Because they said both, but I thought Regina King's a great choice too.
Both have a production company. I'll take them both. Anybody who's going to speak up, anybody who's not going to just go along to get along so that they can move up the corporate chain. And that's why I think celebrity picks for that position would be optimal, because what do they need the career advancement for? You know, they don't need to have Kevin Feige's job. Michael Jai White. Why not? I think I would want to have Michael Jai White, more involved in fight choreography. If they could bring him in as like a choreographer,
And he can also be that advocacy because he's there, right? So why not also lean on him? You got his number. He could do both. He could do that. Yeah, this is an informal job, anyways. Chadwick Boseman was an actor. But how did we hear about the battles about the accent that he had to have? He developed so much from Wakanda and Black Panther.
From his position, yeah, he didn't have to be in an executive position to change things. That's still that shocks me to this day. Like, think about how differently we would be looking at Ryan Coogler if that went through. People in Africa, speaking with British colonial accents. Oh my!
In Civil War is where we saw Ayo. She was like, "Move, or you will be moved."
You will be moved.
he took care of it there. He took care of the voice stuff there.
You
so-
imagine she was like, "Move, bloke, get on there." You got me right hot then.
that was
Imagine, imagine Angela Bassett's monologue.
I have been the most.
I, the queen of Wakanda. I have lost everything. Have I not? Peasants. Pish posh.
Oh, that's funny.
Last
That
thing
is
that was
funny.
on our thumbnail today was to chat about this month. On the very right side, Josiah X.
My
What?
bad. Josiah X.
Josiah X is going to appear in the new Captain America Sam Wilson comic book. Torrin Clark, the artist, was happy about it. There's an article on Marvel.com. I care this much. This is Isaiah Bradley's son. This is a guy who's changed. You know, Malcolm X, so Josiah X. You get it. You know.
You said he's in Brave New World?
No, comic
No.
book. He's a comic character. No,
No.
I understand comic books. I get the viewership on a comic book is really low, but I also see what happened with Marvel Rivals and Jeff the Land Shark, who is 4 years ago invented in a Deadpool comic, and now we see him in video games, and he's getting all this praise. Same with the character Luna Snow, who just was like a nothing comic character. I think she started in games, and now this Korean character is being known by all the kids who are playing Marvel Rivals. So there's something there. Josiah X, I think, is reaching to the bottom and trying to bring him up and try to be like, oh, look, care about him is an error. I think there are so many guys who are not D-listers on the C-list tier that I would way much more would rather have prioritized or featured in the Sam Wilson book instead of him. I'm always going to be against really reaching down to dead characters and saying care about them, you see? Because the enemy of representation is quantity. If I want Black elevated in comic books, I'm not looking down all the way at the bottom. I'm looking at the top with Storm and Black Panther. And then the characters also like Shuri, maybe even Blade, Luke Cage, Photon. You're skipping all of them to get down to Josiah X? I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know what we're really supposed to get out of this, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's more comic book stuff. So if there's ever a place, I guess, to introduce new characters like that, it would be the books first. I just don't like you said, you skipped over a lot of names to get there. Is this going to turn into a solo title? No. Is this going to turn into a role in a major event this year or coming up in 2025? I doubt it. So, short of those things, I just don't see how it's going to propagate.
The enemy of representation is quantity. I'm going to keep saying it until it becomes like in a book or something.
That's not necessarily true. But maybe in terms of comic book representation or you can isolate it to this issue specifically, sure. I'm not going to say it in a general worldly sense that the enemy of representation is quantity.
We want representation. We're the fans. We want it. Okay, we at Marvel will provide representation, but we'll use Power Man this time. Next time we're going to use Night Thrasher. Next time we'll use them. Next time we use it. Well, I'm always going to want representation. I'm always going to want it. Look at the teams that they've got. Thunderbolts, the X-Men, multiple teams over there. We're talking Teen Titans. We're talking Power Rangers. Isn't there always like that black representative on that team? Because they know if we're going to assemble a group of people, they know enough to get black. And often it's somebody new or somebody who they didn't use last time. And it'd be much better if we had the same talent pool of characters. Two in Black Panther and Storm, who I would love each time to be considered. But even that.
So what is the goal? Is the goal to have the maximum amount of black people in leading roles? Or is it to have one person leading that's there all the time? Because I would think the ultimate goal would be to have many leaders and not just one, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
the
then
first thing you
that's
mentioned
still
was
quantity.
great. Maximum leaders in lead roles. You're right.
So once we have a leader,
yeah.
If you've already accepted the fact that you're taking the quality of the representation over the quantity, how do you then pivot to give me more? Because you've already said we don't want more, we want quality. Well, you have quality. So
I didn't
you've
say
been
anything
served.
about quality. I only said I'm anti-quantity. I don't. The quality is gonna.
Right.
Some are gonna be good. Some are gonna be bad.
If you're anti-quantity, once you get your one representative, how do
Yes.
you then turn face and say, now I want more leaders, I want more quantity?
Because the one representative got established and he made it to the top.
Well, we have one
We
representative.
don't.
We had a
The
Blade.
Black
We
Panther
had
book
a
gets
we had a
canceled.
T'Challa. We
The
had
Storm
a
comic book
one.
gets canceled.
We've always had a one.
We don't have it. That's where we disagree with. I'm saying once that happens, once that's established, next. But to right now to give the black casting or the not
It
casting, but
sounds
what do you
like
call it?
you're accepting it as being one at a time, though. Like you the only way you're going to take it is if it comes one
2 at a time works for me
prominent
too.
black role at a time.
2 at a
Why
time
can't we
works for
have
me
3
too.
or 4 or 5?
3 out of 3. If we can do 3 at a time, nah, I'm for that too. But when
But
we
that's
start
quantity.
going
You don't like quantity.
quantity more than 3, like when I'm talking 10, when I'm talking how we had a black guy on Avengers, what's that comic book called? Avengers Assemble. We had like what I'm talking about is Night Thrasher. What I'm talking about when we're really digging. I'm
You
just
really
going.
don't like
You
Night
shoulda
Thrasher,
used-
bro. What's your Night
saying-
Thrasher beef?
Yeah, I'm saying you should have used Luke Cage. At least he's the mayor. You know, he's being used. He was prominent in the Devil's Reign, and the Black's representative on the team is going to be Victor Alvarez instead. Like, you could have used Luke Cage instead. That's screen time or page time that could be going to other people. Sync was
I
really,
get,
really.
now that I can get with. Like,
Well, that's all I mean.
stop leaning away from using the sidekick characters and lean more on, because when they do team up books for other characters, they'll kind of have them interchange as leads or ensemble, right? Wolverine has been part of every team up other than the Fantastic Four in Marvel. He's been in Alpha Flight. He's been in Weapon X. He's been on the X-Men. He's been in Avenger. He's been on every team outside of Fantastic Four. And he's been a leader on those teams, or he's been just a part of the team. You can do that with a Luke Cage or a Blue Marvel, just like you can do that with all the other characters. It's not incumbent on you to use lesser characters when we're talking about black characters. So I agree on that point.
I'm saying it's the same amount of spots. Every time they do a team book, Savage Avengers, they got Blade on it. Like every time a team happens or is assembled, they'll use somebody black. Like the X-Men recently, they used this character named Temper, aka Ide Okunawa, or something like that. She hasn't been seen since Generation Hope days. Like she hasn't been used, but now you're making her the black person on the team. Damn, wouldn't it be cool if we could continue with Everett Thomas Sink? Like the
So let's
enemy
just
of
say that. Let's just say
representation.
we don't want any more like throwaway characters. I don't think the idea of just having more black face, because if those black faces are occupied by the people you want, then it's a good thing.
That's how they think. They're thinking, oh, we're not doing enough representation because we
Oh,
only
you
use
wanna
Sync.
to explain?
In order to do more, they're thinking in order to do more representation, we got to make Temper a person on the X-Men. And all of a sudden, it's been a whole year. It's been like 12 months, nearly 12 months, where we haven't been seeing Sync appear, even though he was being, Chapman just selected him to use him in the X-23 love story that they had in the time thing. If you guys don't follow comics, you don't know what I'm talking about. But I promise you, Sync was actually like, coming up there. But the same thing that happened with him now is what happened with Bishop, where they just kind of forgot about him. Or Manifold, where they just kind of stopped using him. Now they're going to try to convince you they really care about this D-lister in Temper. They even changed their name. They're calling her Temper. Who? Temper. And I know that
I think the Who is to Sync. And I'll be damned, I had to look that up. Wolverine has not been a part of. I thought he was. What the fuck?
Part of what?
Fantastic Four.
Nope, the only one. Try to fact check me.
I was, because I was like, wait a minute.
Don't go fact checking, Marcus.
Yeah, man.
Josiah X didn't he existed. He was created like in 2003. He was in a comic called Crew, and this is all stuff I just searched out. All right.
Yes, Raymond Sink is one of us. He is a mutant.
And I'm saying, so what? This comic could have featured Isaiah Bradley, who's a movie character, and try to like change him, give him an infinity formula, make him younger, find a reason, because he's going to be in a movie. He's going to be really, really pushed. If you were going to do something, make it with Isaiah, not underling of Isaiah Bradley. That's quantity, and that's what I mean. Like we can't just keep saying Marvel can't keep thinking.
It's quality though, because if that character was Isaiah instead of Josiah, problem solved, right? It's both. It's not just don't give me numbers, give me quality, because then they'll say, okay, fuck it, we just give you one person. It's all wrapped up in there, because if those are the correct characters, then we are kind of getting that two birds with one stone type of delivery where we're getting prominent characters in bunches. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. You know,
We're
they're
not getting
movies-
prominent characters in bunches. Prominent in what? Like, here's the Marvel previews that I have
No,
for
no,
the
no, no.
next
I
month.
didn't say we were getting it today. I just said that it's doable. Like we are able to get it. The Ultimates exist. Like that happened. That was a thing. The Ultimates was a thing, and it wasn't a black writer that did it.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why it can't happen again. The current Avengers team has Black Panther and Storm on it, and Sam Wilson. Those are all three current leading characters.
With
So
the exception,
it's possible to do it.
yeah,
What's
the
the
ultimate.
exception?
The exception of Sam Wilson calling himself Captain America.
Okay. Well, even if we take Sam Wilson off the board, they still got Aurora and they
Yes,
got T'Challa,
which
so
is great
it's
stuff.
Not like you can't have prominent characters on the same title that are both black.
Shout
can
out to
do
Al
it.
Ewing. Shout out to the Avengers comic book. Everyone pick
Yes,
it up
sir.
if you want to tell them how Storm joining it is more profitable. But this is a big event comic, and as you can see, we got Spider-Man, we got all of these characters, and the ones who matter right now, they're behind Sam Wilson as a Cap right now, which I don't really support. But then they also got Storm all the way here, and they got Black Panther, who's somewhere on the screen, somewhere on the page. I think that's in there. I don't care about Night Thrasher. Someone's asking about Patriot. I never want to see Patriot.
Get back to Night Thrasher.
I don't care about Misty Knight.
Jeez.
I'm just thinking of D-listers. The Night Thrasher comes to mind, but I'm thinking about how every time they're gonna have like a team member who's gonna fulfill the black spot, that Power Rangers Zach black spot, I want that to go to Storm, Black Panther, like as high as you can reach. And there's those two that I really, really support. And I feel like when you start getting into the quantity of it, start going, Josiah X is going to be the cameo, or Frenzy is going to be the mutant cameo.
We don't have to go all the way down the list to Josiah X. I agree.
I think I'm done. I think that I'm good. I'm good. 2 hours into the stream. Let's not make it go longer until Josh comes in here, and Josh is going to come in here, end our stream. Anyone in the live chat want to drop a donation? Do it now or forever hold your money. No, because sometimes you go off stream and they'll donate. So far, we got Michael Nemo, who said this teaser felt like Superman Returns and the second Suicide Squad film had a baby.
There was some CWS cuts in there, man, but there's also positive to talk about. So it's a wait and see for me.
July 11 will change to July 2nd. That's not 7 days. What day is the 2nd? What's so special about the 2nd?
It'll be July 4th weekend, I believe. Let's see what the 2nd falls on. Usually when people have holiday weekends, those are good movie watching weekends.
July 2nd is a Wednesday, and so that would mean Thursday. And the 4th is Friday. That's America Day, Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
America Day.
Yeah, well, they're not moving up to the 2nd. Then they might move up to the 4th or the 5th, or 5th or 6th. We're not going to release it on a Wednesday. So
Far From
July
Home released
5th.
Far From Home released on a Tuesday. On a Tuesday.
They just actually.
Though. That was driven by
2019. No, it was after the Endgame movie. Far From Home in Europe. That movie was a Tuesday.
Oh, Far From Home. My bad. Okay.
I think it was the July 4th weekend. I think it was a July release.
On a Wednesday or Tuesday. You said
Tuesday. It probably
They put out. They put out these numbers. They said Superman trailer earned over an amazing 12 million views during its first 8 hours on YouTube. For comparison, this is just I don't know. Obviously, Fantastic Four is not Spider-Man, but anyway, for comparison, Spider-Man: No Way Home teaser earned 20 million during the same amount of time.
Okay, so I don't know if that's good or bad. It's not
good.
Quite.
It's like
if Spider-Man got 20 million views in 20 hours, or excuse me, and how long is that? 8 hours?
In 8 hours.
And Superman got 12.
Superman got 12.
So that's good. I wouldn't try to say it was bad, but it just
for
Superman
Spider-Man.
bigger than Spider-Man. Superman is definitely bigger than Spider-Man.
Is he?
Yeah, yeah. It's Superman. Chat, who's
love-
bigger, Superman or Spider-Man?
I love how Marcus, like, to convince you to change your mind, he'll just say it a second time, Superman, and then you have to agree. Now that you say it that way,
Ah,
Superman is a lot older.
Yeah.
He means more to America.
but I agree with
Spider-Man
Johnny.
does.
Spider-Man in today is more popular than Superman. I would agree with that.
I'm not doing that. I'm not cutting the fandom off at a certain time period.
Hey, bruh.
They are both very old IPs, right?
They
And
are.
The old guys that love Superman still count. So
Are they here still?
yeah, they alive. They here. They around.
hey, one in the chat.
I love Supes.
One in the chat for Superman, 2 in the chat for Spider-Man.
I think Spider-Man.
One
Is
again, Superman 1. Superman. Let's hear it. Let's hear it, everybody.
Yeah, I wanna see what y'all think. I see a lot of Spider-Man so far. Damn.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man is more popular than Superman. Okay. I'm gonna use this as some test data.
I think so. I think
Damn.
he is. I think he
Grand
is.
Regent, the first one to give a 1. Jesus. Superman is the most recognizable. Spider-Man and Batman are more popular. That's a contradiction. That doesn't make any sense.
Lauren said 3.
Recognizability is popularity. Being a household name, being recognizable is popularity.
You remember that scene in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man? She said, "You're not Superman, you know."
Yeah. But I think it does speak to, again, Fantastic Four is not Spider-Man, but it is Marvel.
I'll take my L, but I think historically that should probably flip around, but I'll take my L.
Raymond asked, are we here next Thursday? What is next Thursday? What day is
Who buys
that?
tickets, Blue? Who buy the tickets? The kids or the adults?
Next Thursday? Is that Jesus' birthday? No.
That's actually a contradiction. Don't let people lie to you. Jesus was not born on Christmas Day.
It's Boxing
It's
Day.
actually-
The 26th is Thursday. So do you want to do it 26th, or are you guys gonna be family
shit.
away? Or should we do
Oh,
Friday? Monday?
Merry Christmas, y'all. Sure. I may be here on Tuesday or on Thursday.
You may be
I
here
should
on
be on.
Thursday.
No.
But are you
No, we'll
certainly
be on.
here?
I'll be on.
You will be. And so
be here.
Darius, well, you
No,
got
I'll
the
be
house
here.
situation too. We are all right.
Yeah.
Show us up.
Well, I'll be here, but yeah, that is the thing. What day is that? What day we say?
Thursday the 26th.
Thursday, 26.
Oh yeah, I'll still be here. I won't be completely moved out.
Definitely telling on y'all. Definitely telling on all you Spider-Man heads. Sure.
Yeah, Spidey is that guy. Yeah, Raymond, definitely more. That's another conversation. Yeah, but yeah, don't let people lie to you. Talking about Jesus' birthday. Jesus is the reason for the season. Anything to sell?
Folks,
Should we do a call-in show next week?
about
We know news is not going to break everybody. Like, what do we talk about? Hey, the Christmas box office returns are here. What do you think? I think we got to do a call-in show.
Yeah, we could do that. We could also do a tier list of either all the best Christmas movies, and then we could do some of the best Black Christmas movies, because there is a distinction between those two. Home Alone is not in the same category as
on
some
my
of the
list
last.
right now. We got Ernest Christmas. We got I'll Be Home for Christmas. You got 8 Crazy Nights. You got Jingle All the Way. Home Alone 2. So many. I'm a Christmas movie connoisseur.
Oh, I'm a Christmas movie connoisseur. I love Preacher's Wife, Home Alone movie, or it's a Christmas movie.
Preacher's Wife is one of the most underrated, but it also has a weird premise because you spend the whole movie thinking that Whitney Houston about to cheat on her husband with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, but it's a good one. Friday After Next, I don't care what anybody says, is a Christmas movie.
It is not. It happens at Christmas.
No, it's a Christmas movie.
No, if that's a Christmas movie, then Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Okay, then Spider-Man No Way Home is a Christmas movie.
There are movies that happen at Christmas, and then there are Christmas movies.
Die Hard happened at Christmas.
At
Friday
Christmas.
After Next is a Christmas
Happened
movie.
at Christmas.
Gotcha. Now, a Christmas movie, I understand.
Happened at
They're
Christmas.
chasing Santa that entire weekend, so I'm going to consider that weekend as Christmas.
Crackhead. He probably
Yeah.
wears that costume year round. He wear that bitch to stay warm.
So Frosty the Snowman is not a Christmas carol; it's a winter carol.
No, Frosty the Snowman is Christmas. Well, is it? No, he come alive during Christmas on Christmas break while the kids is out sledding and making snowmen.
What lyrics
Which
say
is
that?
really scary, to be honest.
It follows the Christmas themes of jolly and happy. They made Jack Frost. It was a Christmas miracle. Nah, Frosty is a great spot.
It wasn't only Christmas at the end. They were getting ready for Christmas the whole through in the movie. And No Way Home, Executive Judge said it was only Christmas at the end. I thought they were getting ready for Christmas. Or was that around Halloween? I thought it was Christmas because
No Way Home, the weather was nice. It was still out. Months had gone by, and he had tried to go back by the diner.
So when he saw those Doctor Strange decorations, were those Halloween decorations?
God, cold doesn't mean Christmas, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't even cold when the movie started.
Nah. Well, Christmas enough.
I ain't no damn Christmas movie.
What's that? I'll Be Home for Christmas is a good one.
That is a good one. That's a good one.
It's a good one. It's a great one.
Hey, Professor, I know we be right here, dog. We be right here. I just watched the movie the other day, and I still laugh. Sinbad is a genius, man. Shout out to Sinbad. I'm glad he's still with us.
Yeah, no, and I agree, Raymond. Yeah, he's definitely the reason for the season. He just wasn't born during the season.
All right,
it's a pagan holiday.
All the way into religion. Yeah, let's get on.
Summer solstice, orgies, goats, sacrifices.
Oh, you for real? Like Christmas is a pagan.
Oh, I'm dead ass. Yeah, no, they used to use
Christmas movies though, Darius.
I do like Christmas movies. I just don't. I'm not having orgies and sacrificing goats.
Right. Okay. And that's cool, right? That's it's satanic, and somehow that makes Christmas holiday satanic. But then
no, I don't think it makes it I don't know. I don't think it makes it satanic. I don't think that was
not that, but like it's pagan, right? And pagan is a bad thing. It's connected to all that stuff. But then you have Christianity, by which people went forth and killed millions. And
Oh no, I'm not even. Religion is a.
But what are you fighting for here? I'll just be like, let people enjoy their stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. I always say, whoever you follow your, I am a personal follower of Christ. I follow Christ. So, but it's your personal relationship. That's why I always say no one's going to interpret a book that was man-made. Because no one was following Jesus around like I'm sorry, repeat what you said because I don't think I got that. Can you no? So come on now. So yeah, you got to have your own relationship.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to go look up the Book of Enoch if they ever have a chance. Deleted chapter from the Bible. That'll be the last thing I say today, though. No more Bible.
Yo, that's a rabbit hole. Okay, but it has been a great stream, good stream, fun stream. For those that have been asking us, I've been getting messages and asking when. If you weren't here at the beginning of the stream, just got approved for my new house today. Been stressful. Won't go through the stress. It's over now. Move into the new house on the 1st. So the whole. I'm not saying the studio is going to be back up on the 1st, but tentatively, yeah. I just got to get Henry over to hook everything up, and then we're good to go.
Salute to Henry.
Yeah, that's real. He ignored my phone call tonight, but I figured it out without his ass. So,
is he watching right now? Is he one of the 101 people we had at the height of this stream?
Thank you, Gray. He might. I don't know. I know he watches sometimes. I know he watches my calls. He'll watch my phone ring or my phone just My name just
He'll
rang.
watch my calls. I didn't even catch that. It's like
Yeah.
I know sometimes he'll watch my calls.
Yeah, he definitely does that. But
Well,
Watching my calls is nuts. That's a good way to say somebody's screening your phone calls. That's funny.
but he's told me he does. He said, sometimes I'll watch that bitch ring. He said, anytime you call me around 7, on a Wednesday, Thursday, or Monday, he's like, I know it's got to do with streaming. He's like, sometimes I just don't fucking feel like it.
That's how I be, man.
I was like, don't worry, Henry. One day I'll be able to pay you. And then you can just be full time. Not again 90. Always be coming in at the end with laughing emojis. That's my guy that has been here.
We down about half the audience now, y'all. Happy holidays, folks. We'll see y'all next week on the call-in / Christmas movie stream, whenever we get that going. Until then, be good.
Peace.
Hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
I know.